Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. How is
Welcome to episode 4 of Mark Heads. We've made it to episode 4. My lucky number.
Is it? Ah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. We'll make it to this one, and all's well. Touch wood. Yeah. But yeah, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Only got a couple of days left now before the big M or the big B, Bricktastic. But yeah, good.
M being Manchester. So
yeah, that's right. I should say the big drive as well.
yeah. You've got to drive up as well for you.
Yeah.
This is far for everyone who's not in the north.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think some are coming down as well, though. I think
that makes sense.
Is Echo bricks coming down?
Some people coming from Scotland. I don't know where Echo is, but I know there's some people who are, or at least we're planning to come from Scotland.
Obviously, weather dependent.
Yes, and life dependent.
How's your week been anyway, as well?
Yeah. Well, good, thank you. What have I doing? I haven't had the stresses of preparing for Bricktastic. I've been seeing everybody else with not entertainment, but there is a kind of I don't know, not almost Schadenfreude where it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this. It's quite nice, but yeah, it's been good seeing everybody's stuff kind of coming together.
So when's Reading again? Because you're displaying.
Yeah, this is it. I've just started planning Reading. Literally this morning, actually, I've been doing a brainstorm. Yeah. So, but yeah, this week I finished my latest mock last week, which is there. There we go.
The wave, the big. What have you called it? Is it called? You call it the big wave or?
What did I call it? I think I called it like the sea versus the statue. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I did come up with a name, something like that, which is basically what it is: the sea versus the statue. I was quite pleased with how that came out in the end. I didn't expect to actually be able to make. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't expect to make the wave crashing on the back, and then realised, this is why I've been collecting all of these random blue pieces over the last 6 months. Yeah. But yeah, I meant this week I got to build a set, a couple of sets. The Indiana Jones temple. I keep calling it the Temple Run, but it's not. The Golden Temple,
the Temple Escape one.
That one, yeah, which is cool, really cool.
It's got some good technic bits in that, actually.
It has, yeah. It was good to get to that. Because I tried before that. I'd done the Ornithopter. Had my first experience with Technic. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I thought I was paying attention, doing really well with it. I got to the end and the mechanism didn't work, and I had no idea how to fix it. So I've just had to take the whole thing apart. I had to. Don't know if it was in our chat. I think it was in the Family Bricks chat. Went on because I felt I could get some backup from Chris, One Brick Stud, with his anti-Technic rhetoric. Because I went on a bit of a tirade about Technic and never again. So yeah, I've got that too. No. I will give it a go. I will give it another go. I'm not gonna give up on it, especially having done the Indiana Jones one, because you can see that. That's probably more my level, to be honest.
It's a good entry level. It's a good entry level into that.
To see how you can make stuff play. But yeah, I've got the space. It's going to be right here where the jazz club is. I'll put that somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ornithopter is a bad set for the first time you use Technic. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree, Gordon. from experience. Yeah. Maybe we should say hello to the chat. Hello to the chat.
Yeah. That was
easy. Hello there too. We've got Mark Minock, fresh and ready for Bricktastic as well. Talak, Craig, Brickstage Pass, who I think is also ready. Attempting a tree that looks good and will travel. It's not going well. Yeah. Good luck with that. There's a fine balance, I think, between making a tree that looks good and one that can travel, because if you can drive, which I think you do, if I remember rightly, that helps a lot because I can't imagine taking a tree on public transport.
Lego or real. So
Yeah, I have seen a guy with a tree on public transport, and it seemed fine. He was not sober at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was sat on my couch as well. Thankfully, he was kind of entertaining though. But anyway, yeah, I digress. Got Redmond out there, Gordon, and I saw Nicole as well, Lady McBrick, and we've also got Polar Bricks out there.
Hey, cool.
Hello and welcome. And of course, we've got TJ, Titanium J, our guest, who honestly needs little introduction. Everyone out there knows him. He's a staple in the Lego online community. I think most people probably know him for Ninjago, being a fountain of knowledge on Ninjago, but also a massive Star Wars fan and a long-time mocker.
Yes.
Never had a Dark Age. So, he's been present in Lego for a good while. Without any further ado, we'll bring him in.
Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Hello. Hey.
How you doing, TJ? Great to
Good.
have you on. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Very happy to be on. Be a guest.
Yeah, happy to have you as well.
Yeah, really excited to be chatting with you about MOCing and your journey and having a look at some of your stuff. You've been through loads of pictures, and we'll go into it, but it's really good to hear about, interesting to hear about how long you've been doing it for, and seeing some of your stuff from
definitely
when you were younger, and how you kept it going.
Yeah, and be good to see then the progression as well, from because I don't think a lot of us can actually have really sort of recorded stuff, but so yeah, it'd be really quite fascinating, I think, actually. Definitely.
I think we could we can start from the beginning of your journey, maybe. Like, how did you get into MOCing, and what about it appeals to you, I guess, now and when you first got into it?
So I first got into MOCing, I suppose, as any kid would. You got a bunch of Lego in a bin, you start building stuff, putting things together. I'd build the usual assortments like houses, vehicles, and things. The first big MOC that I can remember building that unfortunately I couldn't find pictures of is this big tank for the villains from the Space Police 3 wave. It was I used a bunch of the treads from the Garmatron, which was the 2013 Ninjago set. I kind of dismantled some of my Ninjago sets back then and then reassembled them later on, but I used that, created this massive thing. It was a lot of fun. And then I kind of mocked here and there throughout my teenage years. I didn't do a whole lot of mocking, I'd say, because I'm occupied with school and all that. Kind of had a few other priorities. I was still buying sets, but that was really about it for my Lego collecting. And then somewhere in, I think, 2018, roughly, I started getting into mocking a bit more, started building the occasional thing, sometimes a building, sometimes a vehicle. I did my second variant of the big tank, except this time it was Blacktron themed because I got a big bulk with a bunch of Blacktron 2 minifigs. I thought this is great.
A picture of this.
Yeah,
it's a cool. Let me bring up a picture of this, so we can show people what it is that you're talking about. I need to zoom in a second. Sorry, bear with.
And Blacktron 2's the ones that are like the neon green type accents, isn't it?
Yeah, they're more white and black, and they've got the big. Yeah, so there's the Blacktron tank, the second Blacktron tank. This thing.
It's a beast. Because how old were you? Yeah. Sorry, how old were you when you made this? Because I've got this in an early MOCs folder. So Yeah, like it's impressive for
I must
any
have been
Really?
around 18. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was before college, so somewhere around there. And I
That's
had
cool, man.
I
Really like
remembered
that.
that original tank that I built, and I wanted to do it better and include more things. So I I just went all out and I did a bunch of stuff. And then that white vehicle on the top was the M-tron ship. I think I have
Oh,
pictures
wow.
later. But you can
That's-
see there's like a little turret in there. That turret actually rotates.
Oh,
That's like the
really?
main
oh,
gimmick
this
on what
one
you
here.
can do with that.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
so the Technic and the seat inside are all linked together so it can rotate. I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
do that. I
cool.
want to try that out. It's perhaps not the most elegant looking thing, but I liked it. And
That's
you can
that's where I'm
see,
gonna get
So,
yeah,
making.
there's
I want to start doing tech stuff, and yeah, that's
yeah,
mine's gonna look a lot worse than that.
was there
yeah.
anything that sort of inspired this particular design for the tank, or?
I mean, it was really my previous design of the tank, which
Mhm.
unfortunately I don't have pictures of.
Okay.
The original tank was a bit more wide at the back. I think it had like a prison area and everything. But this tank, I decided to make it a bit more skinny, like it was kind of like a battering ram, I suppose.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
Very cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that
Yeah.
Technic missile, that big, yeah, we can see it in this image too. There's those 4 Technic missiles on the top. I had something similar
oh yeah.
Oh,
on the
what
older
these?
tank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
These are
those are
missiles, are they? Wow.
yeah, those are some Technic missiles back
Mm.
from the 2000s. I got a bunch of them in these Space Police sets, and the gimmick with those, in those sets at least, is that you could shoot them and they'd blast open the prison pods that the Space Police had.
Oh,
And
that's
I really
really
liked
cool.
the part, so I included them.
Mm.
You know, because also can see
Yeah.
my hand in there showing that some of the turrets rotate and move around, and you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
the cockpit area, a bunch of lasers and everything, so that it can kind of blast towards whatever it's charging at, and then my hand's in the way, but there's the battering ram at the very bottom to kind of
This bit
protect the
here.
tread part and to help it ram through anything that it encountered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good. It's really
Yeah,
it's
that's
really cool
really-
though. I like the walkway between the two. The
Yeah.
front and the back as well. That's really quite cool.
Yeah, the original tank I think only had the lower level, but then like went up to an upper level at the back, and I think for stability's sake, I just connected the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So we've
really
got like
You
yeah,
got that.
there's like that little attack pod on the side, extra wheel for stability, but I think in the next picture it shows that it can detach. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
detaches into
Oh,
its
okay, yeah.
own little flyer engine, turns into a
Wow,
thruster.
there's a lot going on with this then. A lot of like
Yeah, I'm like,
actual play features and stuff.
this is actually a lot of fun though, because I'm like reliving all this stuff because I'd forgotten half the lore of this mock until I really looked at the photos. Yeah,
So is that quite important to you as well when you're building like your mocks? Is just like the story behind it and like the lore?
yeah,
in
I
this
like
case.
to have a bit of lore. And then this was new to this tank. The previous one didn't have this, I don't think. But you could fit a smaller tank with another one of those Technic missiles that I love inside the bigger battering ram mobile base thing. Yeah, I think at some point I stopped calling it a tank and started calling it a mobile base, but I remember both names, so it either way it works.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I
and
really like that.
yeah, with this tank, it could fit on the lower walkway. Like the Technic missile kind of was just hovering above the lower walkway, so it was a nice snug fit. Yeah. And yeah,
That's really cool. Anyway, I'll stop
that-
sharing and we can. Oh, sorry, guys. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, is
This is like-
that like a? I can't think of the
that's
word.
like that's the letter B on like the little red landing
Yeah.
strip for Blacktron. It really should have said M for Mtron, but it doesn't matter.
I didn't realise there was Mtron. I do remember Blacktron, but Mtron I've completely forgotten about. And, yeah, I have a vague memory.
Yeah, then there's where the jetpack troopers are and deploying them and everything. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, those jetpacks. I forgot about them as well. That's
Yeah, they were a really cool piece to find. I still got all the Blacktron 2 minifigs somewhere in my minifig storage. They're great figs.
Yeah, I have to dig them out. They are because I've got a bag of all my old Lego from my parents, and I was going through it recently, and all the Blacktron stuff and Ice Planet 2.
Yeah, Space was it was how I was introduced to Lego. Like I'd gotten a couple Lego
interesting.
sets. Like I got a couple in 2006 for Christmas, and then I got another bin in 2008. But then 2009, when Space Police 3 rolled around, is when I really got into it. And
Okay,
so
yeah.
space just holds a special place in my heart
Mm.
for Lego. I like doing a lot of space stuff.
That's cool. And I'm guessing that's led to how, like Star Wars being a big part
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
your
when
Lego life.
yeah, Lego, they were kind of phasing out the space stuff. I think when I started getting into Star Wars, Galaxy Squad was also a thing, but I didn't get all of the sets. I do kind of wish I did,
Okay.
but it's too late now. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was kind of getting into Star Wars at the time as well, and
Mm.
2013 was when there wasn't a whole lot of Ninjago sets. I think only 6 Ninjago sets released, so I
Okay.
went over into Star Wars. I don't have a picture of this either. I don't think I ever took a picture, but I built like this little terrain area, used a couple base plates, bunch of green bricks, and then built like a multicolor entranceway to a base, and that's where all my Star Wars characters would battle it out.
That's cool. Yeah, you've got some of your Star Wars stuff as well. So, sorry, just to go back to the timeline. So, Blacktron tank, or what do you call it? Sorry, the battle cruiser.
Yeah, Blacktron tank mobile base. You can
Mobile base. That was it. Yeah. Oh, because the
Yeah.
battle cruiser is a Blacktron.
Mm.
Was the gift of the purchase, wasn't it? I think maybe. So anyway, so yeah, that where did it between now and the Blacktron tank? What's the progression there?
Yeah, so after I built that, that was also when I was starting to get into the online community, and I just started making little things. At one point I was going to do a city, so I made a little modular house building on a 16 by 32 to try and experiment with that. I also wanted to try it out. Yeah, I made
We've got a picture of that,
made
and
another.
we'll have a look at that in
Yeah.
in a minute.
I made like other random things, like I made a snake, a serpentine vulture droid, because in Ninjago there are these snakes called the Fangfires, who when they bite vehicles turn them into snake vehicles. So I did that with a vulture droid. Why not? And I
Why
did it,
not?
and it was a lot of fun. I built another spaceship that was also a time ship, because it had places for the 4 Ninjago time blades to go in, so that way it could travel through time as well. You can harness the temporal energy. Yeah, it was yeah.
So story definitely plays a part in plays a big part in your MOCs. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
especially
Yeah.
in my earlier MOCs, I like to have a story with it, or have some sort of feature and some sort of backstory to go.
Yeah. I think that's really cool seeing the play features. I guess play features is the right word for it. Like the features and movement and the life that it has, really, because it does bring it all to life. Like it's one thing to build a scene or whatever, but to actually have it move and do things is another level up, really.
Yeah. Adding all that features like that is definitely yeah.
And then I think I did a couple dioramas as well. One for the Flash, one for Ninjago, just like scenes. I think the Flash one was more like a comic book style thing, but yeah, I do like doing little dioramas on occasion as well.
Yeah, I do like dioramas as well. And so does DC play into, because the 52 in your name is a DC reference. I don't know what the reference is, but
it's a DC number. Back when I first made the username, I was really big into the Flash TV show, and they'd mentioned 52 a lot. It's a reference in the comics as well. I don't know the full extent of it, but I'm like, I need a number, so I'm gonna put 52 on it.
Because maybe it's Marvel where they've got the numbers for the planets and the universes.
Yeah.
Well,
Marvel's got like their Earth system, and then DC has their Earth system, but like DC puts their universe at Earth 1 at the center, and then I think Marvel is 616. I don't know if that's the center of the universe, but it's just the numbers.
Yeah, I can't remember the Marvel numbers at all.
Yeah, they kind of just sort of go through them really quickly, and it's quite hard to. sort of remember what they're actually talking about. Things they're like, oh yeah, the Earth, blah 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 blah. And you're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Hang on, what? So, pretty quick.
Just check in with the chat because I saw the Brigadier out there. Hello, out Brigadier, and Trevor's videos, Martin Madlib, and saw a few comments out there as well because I need to commiserate with Brigadier because I am also not going to Bricktastic.
I was going to take your sig fig, so you're going to kind of be there.
Cool, nice. And I will be on London Calling as well, so I'll be
there in spirit.
Yes, yeah. Next year, I will be there next year. And what sorry, just quickly, saw about Trev had an idea, and I didn't had an idea in my head for a mock. I can see it and visualize this in my mind, but I've not a clue where to start to try and build it to realize this in bricks. What's the first bit of advice? Okay, cool. We can jump into this. No, actually, sorry, I should have said that the start. We've got a poll, so if anyone wants to get involved, the question is: do you find the thought of starting a mock intimidating? And this kind of applies to people who've never done a mock before, and also people who have done mocks, because it's not necessarily the easiest thing to start. It can be tricky to start a mock, or you can just go full pelt straight into it and not have any concerns.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so maybe we can jump into
an idea, can't you? You'd be like, where am I going to start with this? You know, it's like,
yeah, exactly. So maybe we can dive into this quickly, and then we can go back onto you, TJ, if that sounds all right with you.
Yeah.
So, where do you start with a mock? Does anyone want to volunteer to take this first?
I thought, what you can do, if you just write down, it's always a good idea, I think, to write down your ideas. Especially if it's your first one, I think, so you can know what sort of points you want to hit with it, if that makes sense. So you need to be like, okay, I want to make sure that it's got, I don't know, like a particular type of door that maybe you can see in your head. So maybe like a big vault door, with like the spinning lock thing on, or like an airlock door like that. And you think, okay, well, I want to have one of those. So you can just kind of put pieces together that way. Maybe figure out how you would do each of the little bits, and then find a way of putting them all together. I'm very handsy. But just as an idea, I know sometimes you can just look at one door and you can and it can all expand out from there as well. So I think it's a good place to start. Definitely with list, for me anyway.
Yeah, I have a similar. This is exactly what I was doing this morning. Wrote out a list of kind of what the features I want. So I'll read it off of here. In fact, I'll see what I wrote down this morning. So just like what theme it is. So like castle theme, what I want to include. I want zombies in there, and they're like a good versus evil, and an army of the dead. But then stuff like I need to design it for transport, and I want to try and build in some lighting and play features and the size of it. So it's not just like writing down the theme and the idea behind it, but it's like if I want to do new techniques in it, or the rough size of it and kind of what else I want to get out of it. But definitely think starting with a list, brainstorming and writing it down, and then you can kind of realize what you do want to do, what you don't want to do as well, because this is where my project manager mind comes in. Set the scope, and then you can creep it in a bit if you want to. But also then, so after that, that just helps me to organize things in my head a bit more. I'm getting a bit handsy as well now. And then I do sketches, and then start to like dive in a bit more. Like, so what do I want I want a building, and then it's like, so what do I want from a building? And at that point, I might end up just going and having a look online at pictures and generally for inspiration, Instagram at other builds that people have done. Definitely having a look at what other people have done. Just copy people, especially when you're starting out. It's absolutely fine. Everyone copies each other. And in general in life, it's hard to find an original idea. everyone is influenced by everyone. So
Oh, yeah.
just copy. If you see something you like, emulate it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, TJ? And I suppose this is kind of what's your general process in when you start a mock?
Yeah, so sometimes with mocks for me it's just like I see something and I want to replicate it, so I start with that and then it kind of expands into a bigger thing. But I think having an idea of what you want to be included in the mock, as well as, making a list or sketching it out or looking at reference material, all important. But I think equally important, at least for my process, is to just get building, even if it's just, multicolor or just like a random something, to just try something out, to experiment with the physical bricks. And if it works, then that's great. If it doesn't work, you just take it apart and try a different approach.
Yeah, absolutely. And that also applies, like, if you don't necessarily have like the exact piece that you want, say like I want a 2x2 plate in a certain color, you can just use one in a different color if you got it in that first part, and just to realize the ideas, right? It doesn't need to be perfect, and the amount of times I build something and break it down to redo it, just lose track of it.
Yeah, because you sometimes need to see how the parts are going to actually look together as well, if that makes sense. Because in your head, they're going to be like, you're going to connect this and this, and they're going to look one way, but then you actually see it, it's like, oh, actually maybe from that angle it doesn't look quite the way I want it to. So you maybe then swap something out for something else, or maybe just try a different tactic completely and start again. So
yeah, absolutely. We've got some comments in from Craig and Gordon and Nicole as well. Let's see what they're saying, because they're brilliant mockers. So always, Gordon especially, is always giving good advice on the various forums. Craig saying there's always going on Rebrickable and taking a set you have and look at what other people have done with it. Then you can get a feel for what you can do. Yeah, that's brilliant advice as well, isn't it? Seeing, because then you've got the parts. You don't have to worry about going to a pad wall or going on Bricklink or Brickowl to get random parts. You've got the confines to work with straight away, and there's plenty of free instructions out there as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can even some of the more complicated Lego sets. Now you can just get the app and get the instructions for them and just see how they've maybe done a particular thing you like on a set. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've actually started. I can't remember who. I saw someone on YouTube. I can't remember their name, but give the advice of, if you see a technique you like in a Lego instruction, just kind of take a photo of it or take a screenshot of it, so that you can, and save that in a particular folder, so then you can refer back to it. Because Lego designers are kind of the masters, so what they're coming up with is always good to copy.
Yeah, definitely.
When you have mock block, I suggest build some component of it, something simple. Yeah, start small. And I can speak to this actually after our inaugural episode. I had mock block. It's a good word for it. I was calling it builder's block, but I like mock block. Sounds like something. Anyway, a film reference, nothing dodgy. But yeah, start small. You don't have to go all in straight away. You can just start with a corner and go from there. Or start with a little bit. There, Jake. Start small. You don't have to go big straight away.
No. Yeah, you can sort of take baby steps with it.
Do you do that, TJ? How? So do you just dive straight in, or how? When you say you get building, like what? Where do you start?
It depends on the mock and what I want to accomplish with it. Like the Temple of Fortitude back there was a specific element. It was like a little gateway entrance piece that inspired me to start building that mock. I saw that in the show, and I was like, I need to replicate this. And so I did, and then I started going further with like laying out the base plate and just slowly making progress. I do experience mock blocks sometimes, and I was having that with the Temple of Jitsu actually. I was like, how am I going to do this roof portion that kind of juts off the side? And I decided, I need to actually build the walls first. So
yeah, okay. So just like put that
is,
to the side for the moment, and then
yeah,
focus on something else.
that's another thing that's I think a bit helpful is to, if you're stuck on a certain component, work on a different component. Look at something else, and then take a fresh look at what you were stuck on later on, because that might help.
Yeah, and that's kind of life in general, right? If you have a block on something, like there's the whole thing of sleeping on it. I started writing code recently, and I'm coming up against a lot of like things I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm like, right, I'm just going to leave this now and wake up the next morning and be like, okay, cool. I think I've thought of a solution now. I can just work around it or do something, approach it slightly differently. And it is the same with Lego. Like, well, anything. Just put it aside for a moment, work on something else, and then come back to it later.
And I've found similar to that actually. Just if you get really stuck on something, then if you just go away and just build like even the simplest little Lego set. Sometimes you'd be like, oh look, that connects like that. And then you can just make that connection, and it's like, oh, actually, that would really work. And you can go back to that a bit, or maybe you'll go back to it like a week or 2 weeks later sometimes. But I mean, it's not like you've got a deadline. Well, you may have a deadline, I suppose. But you can kind of, it's not like a particular time scale really. It's just make sure you just enjoy it whilst you're doing it, really. So if you can't do it, just come back to it. That's what I was saying. That's why I've got like several different things on the go at one time.
Nicole suggests participating in challenges as well, because it gives a basic structure and can jumpstart inspiration.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you guys done challenges? I know you have, TJ, but have you done like a competition, at least one competition? I don't know if there was.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. What was that?
That was less structured. That was more of like a build in a certain amount of time thing rather than build a certain thing. But no, I have done a few of those like challenges. I did a couple for Good Morning Brick World. Like I did a habitat of building my setup, which got dismantled because my setup changed about 6 times after I built that habitat. And then I did another one, which I think is in the picture somewhere. It was like a little Halloween challenge. I made it Ninjago themed, and really it was just like a size constraint. It was like 16 by 16, couldn't be more than 16 bricks tall, and kind of working in that frame was an interesting challenge.
Find that. Yeah. I think we'll just get through. Is it?
Excuse me.
It'll be tan.
Tan.
Yeah, tan thing.
Think. Let me share and see if this may or may not be it. We'll find out. Otherwise, we can scroll through pictures. Let me just look up. Is that it?
Nope, that is not it. That's different.
It doesn't look very Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, this is the house
that was the house that I built, which also was tan. I had a lot of tan. Yeah. I still do. Yeah, what inspired this is those masonry bricks. I got them.
Nice.
I think a Bricklink order. So I was like, I'm going to use these, and that's what I built. That's what I started with.
I don't have many of them. They're really cool. I do got them. We'll come back to that. Maybe I've got a different folder.
Yeah, it might be in the main folder, I think.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's the Ninjroid rover. It's a very undersized version. I needed bigger wheels, but I didn't have them, so I just built a smaller version. Yeah, these were in Ninjago in Season 3 when the Ninja went to space. So
okay. A lot's happened in Ninjago.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's
the time traveling, space travel, all sorts. Right, let me.
Yeah, it'd be
in here.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I'm there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so I built this.
My computer starts going weird.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and what inspired this
Cool.
one-
Now I should have read the title because now that
Yeah.
the clown makes more sense.
Yeah, the
Oh, the jester,
columns
sorry.
inspired this. So I was watching one of the Lego DC movies. I think it was the
Mhm.
Flash one, and they had like gold versions of those columns that
Of
Deathstroke
these
was
here.
wielding. Yeah, and I replicated them in tan because it
Mhm.
was just something I wanted to do, and I'm like, I need to use these columns somewhere. And so
Ah.
I stuck them in this MOC, and there's 2 in the front, one's falling over, and then 2 more in the back supporting that upper arch piece. Yeah, I wanted a way to get the angle, and that was
I like this. I've seen it in some of your Star Wars MOCs where you've got like pillars at different angles using the like the hinge plates, I guess they're called.
Yeah.
But I love this bit. Honestly, is one of my favorite.
Piece is so
The
useful.
jump. Yeah,
They're
and
really
this is a
good.
great use of it. Yeah, that's a really cool use of it. Right there. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, so this was like this was the Brickworld Halloween challenge. Was this the one from last year?
Yeah, the Good Morning Brickworld from the last
Sorry,
Halloween
Good Morning
we had.
Brickworld, not Brickworld. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
nice.
Yeah.
Put
I
this
like
together.
those lanterns.
Yeah. It's a fun.
I really like those lanterns. They're really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's quite a good technique on the columns as well. I do like.
Let me share. Sorry, I'll share that again. I was a bit preemptive.
Excuse me.
Don't know why it does this. There we go.
Yeah.
Disco.
yeah. My computer just struggling. That is a really cool technique.
Yeah, the lantern piece flipped upside down. You've got a 2x2 round with one stud in the middle, 2x2 round jumper. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the ones. They're really helpful. Those.
And then like the inverted. I don't know what these pieces are called, but the bits you get on the bottom of ship.
Yeah, those little inverted round pieces.
The boat studs or something. They're boats. They call them boat studs, I think.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Clips and bars. Honestly, they are amazing.
And then the columns are just headlight brick, 1x1 brick, headlight brick, 1x1 brick, headlight brick. And then the ingots stacked. So like so those middle ones are kind of like in the center ish.
Like the snots like here, and then you've got a 1x1 there, and because the back of the ingots are like you can just move them up and down on the stud, right? There's no like
there's no
holder or whatever. Anti-stud, it is an anti-stud.
I can show you guys
or vaguely,
at least some of it. Yeah, so it was. I don't think I have a third. So it's just this.
Yes.
Get a couple ingot pieces. Still have a bunch of these tan ones. So then here's where the top was, and then there's the center.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then another one directly below that. Yeah.
Nice.
That was something I did.
Yeah, that's cool. And then that inspired the whole thing.
Yeah, I had those sitting, and I was like, I need to use these. So built this little ancient ruin. That's a scroll of forbidden spinjitzu that I
really
from my
cool.
Ninjago weapons. That's from 2019. There's also a red one and a blue one.
Oh, excellent.
For fire and ice.
Ninjago's got some really good bits in it, like this. Looks really cool.
That was like an alternate version of Garmadon that I whipped up. Used the original Garmadon helmet plus a newer helmet piece, which is the bone piece, and combined a couple other parts to make this variant of them.
And this guy's cool as well.
Yeah, his name is Crazy.
Ninjago character. It's that insane clown
that's
posse.
Krazi. Crazy.
That's quite a creepy face on that one as well.
I know.
Yeah, they were Ninjago had like 4 like army skeletons, and the lightning ones, the ones that were crazy, were the most common. Most of them didn't have the jester hat though. They were just without
Right.
gear.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
So I've got
okay.
a bunch of those.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for them. I've never seen them before.
Yeah, back in 2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely,
You
yeah.
get a
Yeah,
sneaky
they're
peek
really
at your
nice army.
setup as well.
Yeah, that's an old setup, but yes. I think that was back when that table was over there somewhere.
Right. Yeah, because you moved your stuff around. What, in the last month or two, right? Fairly recently.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, recently.
this setup's been around for a couple months, maybe a few months now, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think the only thing that's changed is that I turned the table. It was coming a bit forward this way, and these carts, which is where more of my parts are, were over there in front of the bookcase. But I found that wasn't working because I couldn't access these very well. So I just turned the table and put the parts drawers in front, and now I kind of have this whole parts here.
360.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have parts here.
Oh, nice.
And parts here.
Oh, wow.
And parts underneath.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of parts here.
That's a good setup, actually.
That is a good setup. Yeah, I've just moved rooms in the last 2 weeks. Must have been since our last stream, I think.
Yeah, because the shelves were there slightly different.
Yeah, and even before that, I think I moved since the first stream. So in the last 2 months, I've had 3 different setups. So it does seem to change quite regularly. And even this, I don't know how this is going to work because I haven't used it. Because the last time I changed it was because it wasn't flowing very well. So I don't know what it's going to be like actually building in this environment. I'm much happier in here, I have to say already.
Okay.
But I'll share some photos properly at some point when it's not a complete state. Which who knows when that'll be, but maybe soon. But yeah, you do have to just change your setup around, don't you? I think to make it work. Right? It's interesting how much of an impact it has.
Yeah, I wanted to make, although I haven't done it yet, I wanted to make mock building on stream a bit easier because before it was kind of like I had to move over to the side and it didn't quite work.
Yeah.
And I think this works a lot better. Plus, my bed is over here, so I can, when I'm accessing all the bins that are underneath here, I can stack them up over here as well. And
yeah, nice. Yeah, I've got a table here, which is really handy to have just off to the side, so I can. Yeah, the idea is I'm going to have my build there, and then I can also just put stuff there if I'm actually working on it.
My build is hidden behind. You can kind of see one of the blue base plates there.
Yeah.
But it's it's hidden behind these, and then there's also more of it over here. That's the main temple. That's meant to be over there. It's not meant to be connected yet.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm trying to plan this mock a bit better for transport, so that building will be removable.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be good. We're having a look at it in a bit more detail later. That's definitely something I want to talk about because this is what I'm trying to do with this next mock. I need to, because I think I'm going to be taking it on public transport, so I need to design it to be like to come apart basically and go back together hopefully vaguely in the same pieces.
There's some good cases. Mark saw the other day. He sent me a picture of I can't remember which shop it was. They're like these black ones with wheels and like a handle. They're not like shopping trolley ones. They're actually like proper ones.
Yeah, yeah, the old lady ones.
Yeah, it's not one of those.
Okay, right. Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what I've got at the moment. I think I think my wife's got a big suitcase in the loft somewhere, or like one of them big like gym bags. I've got quite a big one of those, which I could just sling over my shoulder. Hopefully not. I don't know. Already thinking about that.
Yeah,
you can just imagine it like hitting my back and like, oh.
When I transported that plus my Ninjago diorama for Brick Road Chicago, I got this plastic storage bin.
Yeah.
And it just barely fit everything. Like I had to put like a little bit of padding at the very bottom because it was slightly less than the length of 2 base plates. Once I put the padding down, I was able to set down the more substantial base plate there and pretty much set down the whole temple there. And
Okay.
then I shoved the front two, it's over here, the front two base plates kind of in one side, the diorama on the other side. I took off a bunch of stuff and put them into separate bags because, like, I had a tree that was going to fall apart. I had the little entrance gate that was going to fall apart. So I just took those apart preemptively and put them in bags.
Yeah,
I was very
okay.
lucky that everything fit into one bin. I know that's not going to happen for the Temple of Air-Jitsu, so I'm building it with more gosh, what's the word? I can't with words.
Foresight.
Like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
with the Temple of Fortitude, it split into two sections of two base plates, but with the Temple of Air-Jitsu, all the base plates are going to separate, so they're all going to be their own 32 by 32, which means I won't have the setting it in the bin problem.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because it's the base plate sometimes that sort of takes up all the room when you're putting stuff in stuff. Because I know I've got one thing that it's up there somewhere. I've got to move, and it's because it's on the was it the 48 by 48 base plate. It's just finding something that will fit that, because it's actually, was it about 15 inches? I think 15 inches.
Yeah, it's an awkward size. I had to get a random cardboard box the one time I've done it. So this time I'm gonna design so basically the everything comes off of the base plate, and I can then put that sideways in something. Because to have that at the bottom, finding a box, because all the boxes like as well. So the top, it'll go and find the top, and then it gets like 3/4 of the way down. You're like, no, I've got to, like you said, put something in the bottom, pad it in the bottom, so then you can raise it up high enough to fit in the box, and then it pokes over the top. And,
Yes, I know. I did see somewhere you can get good way of transporting it is if you put anti-slip mats in them. So you get them for underneath rugs to stop them from slipping everywhere. You can get some of those. I think you just cut them up to size anyway, so you could just put some of that in the bottom of the box, and it won't move at all. Is the idea anyway?
But, Craig was just putting something about car mats there, rubber car mats, I think, wasn't he? Just catching up with the chat a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like we just going back to so some time away from build will help. Yeah, definitely. Doing a ton of research. Yeah. DeviantArt and AI, actually, going back to the starting out with like planning a mock and all that. For the last one, I did use like an AI image generator to come up with some ideas and just helped formulate some stuff. I didn't go down that route exactly.
Yeah.
But that wasn't anything to do with the AI and all that.
You can use it for anything now.
Yeah. I'm looking into how to make it do my job at the moment.
Do yourself out of work now.
Yeah. Well, someone's going to, so might as well do it myself. Hello out there to Omega, and also hello Amberlire. I don't think I said hello properly. Good to see you. I'm quite a way behind on the chat. Sorry, chat. This is something that we realised after the last stream. We're like, okay, we need to try and stay on top of the chat a bit more. That's easier said than done.
I'm not flicking between YouTube anymore, so that's quite good too. I'm learning.
Been watching Backstage Pass updates on his mock, and then watching Tech build his mock, and those are truly works of art. I can't wait to see Tech and Sam's mocks, and the Backstage Pass is like castle updates, and I can't wait to see. I don't know if I'll get to see it in person, but the Wayne Manor, the Batman Cave. I can't wait to see that.
We've seen the little teasers of it, haven't we? And it's just like, oh, come on. When is Manchester now? Come on.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go up north to hopefully if Craig's doing another show, and see some of his other stuff.
Can you not sneak up for an hour, maybe?
Yeah, 10-hour round trip to
Yeah, I'm just popping to get some groceries. I'll be back in.
yeah. All while it's my wedding anniversary as well, which is why I can't make it. Yeah, I don't know if I'd get away with. Don't think I'd make it back in time for dinner.
And then we'd never see you again either, probably.
No, probably not. I'd either be dead or have had to leave the country. I make out like my wife is like a horrible person. She's really not. She's the nicest person ever.
No, it's just when it comes to wedding anniversaries or anniversaries, just you just have to be so careful. So
yeah, don't mess with them. I think now is probably quite a good time to have a look at reviewing some other people's MOCs and having a look at technique. Before that, though, I'm going to check how the pod is doing, and hopefully, Trev, that helped with your question about, and anyone else wondering about getting an idea down and where to start. And if you do have any questions, stick them in the chat, or if it's just in general, feel free to message us on Instagram. We've also got an email, mockheads.podcast@gmail.com, if you want to ask us any questions, give us ideas for like things you want covered in any future streams. And sorry,
there are no silly questions.
No. I say that, but I ask silly questions, so I can't get behind that wholeheartedly. But yeah, feel free, just message us, send us your MOCs if you want us to feature some or whatever. But in terms of the poll, so we've got 61% of people find it the thought of starting a MOC intimidating, and 39% do not, which probably isn't much of a surprise. I wouldn't have thought, especially if you've not done a MOC before. I remember finding it daunting and having absolutely no idea where to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting into it. And also, did we say hello to Omega? If we didn't, hello Omega. Hope you're well. Right. Okay. MOC reviews. So we're gonna start with yours, TJ. In fact, as we've gone in alphabetical order of the names of the builders.
Oh, excellent. Cool.
So starting with Jack Harlan. And this is cool. So I'm just going to get rid of that banner, Gaz, actually. I've got to remember how to get rid of the banner. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Different section. There we go. Sorry, too slow. God, I should know how to do this stuff. This is so cool. I do love this. I think you've probably heard me say a few times about are the knees opposable on any mech that you post about, and they are on this. First thing I checked. But this is awesome. Who is this, and what is this?
Yeah, so this is Jack Harlan. I found him on Instagram, I think, through some custom that he did. And this is one of the ones that really stood out to me. It's Golden Lloyd mech that appeared briefly in Dragon's Rising Season 1. And let me get, because Lego did an official version, kind of. Let me get it.
Okay.
See, this is what Lego did. One of the Evo mechs. And as you can see, no posable elbows or knees or anything. It's just a little mech here. But
is that a fairly recent one?
Yeah, this is fairly recent.
Yeah,
it actually was released last year and then retired at the end of the year.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
It's the same as the Star Wars ones, basically, and the Marvel ones, right?
Yeah.
They've all got the same rough pieces.
Yeah, they all use that little limb piece that they introduced for Ninjago back in 2022. So
That was fun.
yeah.
Ninjago's a bit of a trailblazer for pieces. It's got some,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Ninjago gets all the good molded parts.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah.
Some good
Yeah, so he
headpieces
made
as
this mech, and he's done a lot of other mechs, and
Mm.
it just looks so cool. It's amazing to me how people can capture all this.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
love-
That makes really cool. Like, yeah, how people just make them, and there's kind of, I think what surprises me is how few pieces it actually is. It looks like it should be loads
Yeah.
of pieces, but like there's not actually that much. Like they do a lot with relatively few pieces.
Yeah.
And they have to, I guess.
I think this sometimes the builds that are slightly not, like you get like the massive big ones on a massive grand scale. I think sometimes ones like this are more impressive because you think they've obviously got like a smaller space to work with, as it were. So it's like the amount of details and features they can fit in. I mean, like that one was standing on one leg in that picture. So you must have amazing that balance or center of gravity on it. It's just
and it's fully opposable.
Being able to get the full range of posability out of this thing too is impressive.
Because I don't think I did all the pictures. There was one of it like fighting and flying through the air and stuff.
Do the ankles jointed as well? Can they like swivel and stuff?
Yeah, it looks like they are.
Oh yeah,
little.
There you go, ball joints
joint there. Yeah,
because they. Oh, that's like the, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the
the little T piece.
T piece. Yeah. But then is it also says that will? It looks like it bends in two places, almost, because it looks like it bends here and here, and then you can swivel it as well, presumably.
Yeah, because it's on just the round bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those rounded plates again, they're so useful.
These here.
Oh, the so on the knees, the grey pieces, the small
the
ones.
1x2s.
Yeah, they're
so
useful.
Yeah, because these are the I love these. I have loads of them, and they're always really helpful.
Yeah, it looks like he uses the same technique on the elbows as well for the knees.
Yeah,
kind of has that posability in two places. I wonder if that's helpful for stability and structure.
I imagine it is, right? Because there's more. I think that there'd be more resistance on these bits, so they're posable, but they'll stay in place more.
And I guess you can use them as well, just to sort of just tweak it slightly as well. So if it bends like that, but then it bends again up there. If it's slightly off balance, maybe you can bend it there, and it is in balance a bit more. It's a really good idea. Really good.
And again, looks like the shoulder pads move. Maybe see what it's doing in the other pictures.
Yeah, I think they move.
Looks like they're on like clips.
Possibility.
Yeah. And then it's got another one here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the Empress.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Lego made this as well. That mech was a bit more advanced because it was in a big set with a dragon.
Okay.
But yeah, this took it to another level. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool. Like some of the parts in this, like that's the use of the flower petal in the like the wildflowers, right, or the bouquets. Don't often see these bits. I've got them off the Pebble, but like the 2x4.
Yeah.
Tile.
Yeah, and those have stickers on them from the
stickers. Yeah.
set.
Oh, that's so good. I love the chest unit as well. It's just because it's
it's
just a tire, isn't it? It's just a tire, like.
Oh yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little tire piece. Yeah,
really
I'm
cool.
guessing
a little tire on a 2x2.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a 2x2 with the hole in the middle, so that you can connect the stud the other way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It would have to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. This is cool as well. So what have they done here? They've got. That's a tool.
It's one of those like parts, like that little bag with a bunch of parts that comes in some sets. There are a bunch of different kinds. I think that's
different kind of tools and stuff. Like when it's got like spanners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, no, that's really cool. I've got a bunch of these. I never really know what to use them for. But it's got like the axle hole, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And
It's a great shaping on that. Just with the two together like that, it just looks fantastic. I really like that.
yeah, I really this the way you've got the different. I haven't really seen that before. Where you've got two joints really close to each other to add that extra like maneuverability and posability.
Yeah.
I thought that was a massive ball, but that's that. What's it called? Boat stud.
Yeah, the inverted
I think so. Yeah.
round piece. Yeah, that's another tire, I think.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, looks like it. I can finally put all these tires I got.
Oh, this. Oh, yeah.
Got this little tub of tires that I don't know why I got them, but one day I'll use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
so cool. That big hand as well, though. I just love it. It's like really sort of, you can just sort of see it sort of coming in to grab you, you know, as well. Really cool.
Mm.
So good.
And God just doesn't really.
The upcoming climbing mech does have adjustable elbows and knees.
Yeah, I think some of them.
That's also at a bit bigger of a scale than this.
Yeah, this is it because the smaller ones, and the smaller ones have stopped having like bendable knees and ankles and stuff, right? And I think that's because of stability.
The Empress mech is really the most recent one. In fact, I should get it. Hold on.
I love that little banner as well on the.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so this is the set version of that Empress.
Okay.
It's got bendable knees and bendable arms here.
Right.
So yeah, so they are able to accomplish it, but I think they leave it out of the smaller sets because those are targeted for younger audiences.
Yeah, and you can see why, because it's gonna like break, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the last of them. So yes, Jack Harlan. Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff on there.
Yeah, he just the Cole mech that just came out. He just did a show version of it from the show from the shorts, but it looks really good.
Yeah. Cool, nice.
Hey, Pink Wheels. Hey.
Oh yeah. Yes, getting started on a MOC is always the worst part. But yeah, once I get started, then it tends to go mostly smooth from there. So this one's for me. This is Jafer MOCs, who is otherwise known as Joss. I can't remember his surname. One of the Australian Lego Masters. I think he won it once and was runner-up in the Grandmasters. Amazing builder. Like did the Godzilla mech. He's done a bunch of stuff. Did the Orchid monster. There's a Zelda Majora's Mask MOC, and now Spirited Away. And this is amazing. I think it was a bit overshadowed. So he did it for Brick Convention in Australia, which is where the Golden Dragon was. Also, and that just I think overshadowed everything. But yeah, this is so cool. It looks just like it. I'm amazed at how he's done it. I was kind of watching his Instagram stories as he was doing it. I was like, I want to do a Spirited Away scene, and like had the screenshot. I was like, he's never going to do that. How's he going to do that? Then you see him doing it. It's like, oh my god, he's bloody doing it. Like how? How? Just all of it. Like the sense of movement. Is
it's throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, everything flying around. Like it's a great movie as well. I don't think I've seen any other Spirited Away MOCs, but that's not to say there's not been loads done over the years. I don't know, but just all of it, like the teeth as well. Like I struggle to see where some of the Lego pieces actually are. And there's more pictures of it, but like the character, the girl, I can't remember her name, is awesome.
What are the bowls made of?
Yeah, curious about that too. What are those bowls?
Yeah, let's see if there's sorry the picture quality. This is screenshotted off of Instagram, so it's not great. Let's see. Is that a hat or something for that one? Maybe.
Oh,
That
is
might-
that-
Oh, these are gears. Are they? Are they gear pieces? And he's painted them or used bands?
oh, could
Maybe.
be.
I think he uses rubber bands to kind of add colours because he did. Is it Kung Fu Panda? That's the film, right?
Yeah.
Did a couple of characters from that. It did like the bird
Oh, excellent.
master, and used elastic bands to make feather details.
Oh, okay.
So it might be that, but it looks like the gear pieces, right? Because it's got the teeth.
Yeah,
Gear,
I know the ones you mean. Yeah.
Oh, and then even this, that's like a spider web, isn't it?
Yeah,
Spider-Man
it's a
piece.
cobweb. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, man. And like the characters and like the level of detail is insane. Even
I know what that piece is. It's kind of it's another Technic piece.
which bit's that? Sorry.
Yeah, the grape art. It's a Technic piece with a rubber band around it, I think.
Okay, what this bit here?
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if I
That
have
could
one.
even be
I
another
don't have
tire.
one to hand, but yeah, I think that's used. In
Oh, I
multiple
think
of
I know
these,
what you
yeah.
mean. I think I know which piece. It's
Yeah,
it's kind of
I
sort of that-
recognize it
that
because
line, isn't it?
I used some of them in a modification of a set I did. Yeah,
I mean, does it have holes in it? Are these little microphone bits?
yeah.
Or like,
That's what kind of gave it away. Is that piece has 6 holes around and then 1 hole in the middle.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. The tread sprocket, 57519. Yeah, like all of it. And I think I've got more pictures of.
It's the background as well because it's just so really colourful, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, the color palette is amazing as well. Just it always amazes me how he can just make whatever he wants. Basically, he's one of those people that seems to just be able to do what he wants with Lego pieces, and I don't know. I can't comprehend how he does it. He just figures it out. Because even just the background, like those pictures, look amazing, and then there's the rest of it. I want to see. Yeah, I really like this usage of the little like plant piece for the hands.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's really good.
do you know that bit, Gaz? They had it on the paddle, isn't it? In brown.
That's the Minions hair, isn't it? Oh, hang on.
Oh, is it? Is that what it started out as?
Yeah, that bit.
Have you got it there? Let me make you full screen.
You see it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's in brown, which is useful, and words, Gaz. Red. It's in the trans red as well, I think. Actually, it's quite cool.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Because it's used as the flare in the Jurassic Park T-Rex breakout. They use it as the flame on the flare.
Yeah, that's what it's
yeah, and even the drool as well. This is a better look at the teeth, actually.
Have they done the basket that's just in the foreground? The tan basket. Is that a Ninjago? I mean, like Woo's hat.
Yeah, there's a little Ninjago hat.
Yeah, for the lid, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. That J for MOCs. And here we go. This is yours, Tim Goddard. Because
I just love. There's something about this that just really caught my attention, and because it's kind of like, I don't really know what sort of genre you'd call it, but it's kind of like steampunky, sci-fi.
Yeah, it's kind of cyberpunky, isn't it?
Yeah. I just love it. It's just so imaginative as well, like the flying boat with the jets on the side, and it's just I
These are the jets. I hadn't even twigged that it was a flying boat. Of course it is. Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of just plays into like so many things that I like and I've seen as well. So it's that's kind of why I picked it in this one.
I recognize that sticker towards the top. That little white sticker print. That's from the Fire Mech from the Ninjago movie.
What, this one here?
Yeah.
Or this?
Yeah, and that one too. I think.
Okay. And was there another one done here? Oh no, is that?
Yeah, because you've got the green tiles at the front. I think they were on one of
They
the
were on the
CMFs.
CMFs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the space CMF, weren't they?
Yeah.
But that's all the other details about. Like you got the captain there and the in the cab, and with it, she's got the light there in front of her as well. And
there's a better picture of her because that's it. It's really cool. Like the setup. Let me. I also just really like the sense of motion with the flags as well. Like, it's the sense that they're going fast, right? And the lighting's really cool. Are they? I'm guessing they're actual lights. It looks like there's a little wire, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very well hidden as well, though, because I know it's quite hard to hide wires sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what are these? Are these like Technic pieces, like the Technic axles with the flat end?
Round tiles, I think.
They're just tiles, right? Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
One by one round tiles.
Yeah,
I think pearl dark gray, I think.
Yeah.
It is so cool. And like Tim Goddard stuff, because I saw some of his stuff I think he had stuff at Steam. Last year. Because he's in, is it the Teal something?
Oh, I know, the Teal Squadron.
That's it. Yeah, they've got amazing stuff, like very kind of Star Warsy space, all sorts of space influences, and the level of skill is amazing in that whole group.
Yeah, definitely.
And building ships and vehicles, it blows my mind how people do it.
Gosh, I love those railings. I love when people do railings like that.
Because those are bar pieces, right? And because I thought he'd had a curve on them, but no, it's just like the light, isn't it? And
I think there is. Is there one further up that's got the curve on it as well? I think towards like the masty bit. Is that the one? Or am I imagining it? Maybe.
Look, I think he's just got bars there. He's got that bit.
The monkey kid hilt. Yeah.
Is that what that is? Right.
I've got loads of those now. A minute.
But he's got lights in the little thruster engine.
Yeah, that's really cool. Quite an elegant stand as well. I didn't even know this was a piece. This trans bit.
Yeah, no, I've seen that before. I got him in the Hailfire droid.
They used it in they used it in the Silent Mary as well for the stand.
Okay.
Like a ghost ship, and it's like because it can't sit down because it hasn't got a proper bottom at all. So.
Right.
Yes.
Hello out there to Tech and to KO.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Please join in. And also Carrie. Sorry, Carrie. I think I missed saying hello to you. I think you've been here from the beginning, so hello.
I think she's here for the seagull that's on there. So.
Yeah. There you go. That's it there, right?
Yeah.
We all know Carrie likes a seagull. Then moving on, there is.
there you go.
Yeah.
That one. There we go.
Do you know, actually, now thinking about it, I'm wondering if we're going to see this actually at Bricktastic. Because I think this guy, I think Tim, is part of the, what's the name of that big cooperative build they do? New Hiroshima?
New Hiroshima,
yeah.
New Hiroshima, yeah.
Hiroshima, yeah.
Hiroshima, sorry. Oh, you're not Hiroshima. That's something different.
Yeah. I can't. Oh my gosh, I just cannot speak apparently. But yeah, that place. Because I think he's doing the UK one that's going to be there, and I just wondered because this fits in with it, wouldn't it? So
yeah, there you go. It's the cyberpunk kind of vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the new Hashima UK arm, yeah, that I didn't even know that was a thing. That was a really nice surprise to hear about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's meant to be kept on the down low or not, but
no, I think Kev mentioned it in the chat on Friday in London Calling.
right, yes, that was it. Yeah.
But yeah, because I think we've seen it on Pink Wheels when she's been on London Calling, and it's just like you have that cube sort of structure, and then you just can fill in the details. But then there's all the lore and stuff to go with it. What sort of guidelines in that sense as well.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Pictures of it and videos and everything. So that's a good sign of how big, hopefully, the whole event's going to be, right? It seems like, at least if it's anything close to what the Chicago Brick World was like, then there's a good indicator of how big the.
If it is, I hope they've started building it now, because I think that's the best part of the week, wasn't it? I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, at Chicago, they were. I mean, I was hanging out there Tuesday, and they were building there. They were building like little support modules and all this stuff, and they were setting up the entire thing from the moment the floor opened all the way to like somewhere in between Friday night and Saturday morning. They got it done.
Is it Saturday morning that it opens up?
Yeah. I'm sure Pink Wheels knows.
Yeah.
So Simon.
When exactly they finish. But
here we go. Chicago was literally 3.5 days of setup.
Wow.
Yeah. And and the little table that I was at wasn't far, so I'd always pass it by, and it was just so much building, and it's impressive.
I can't imagine what it was like to see it in person, to see it, the videos of it and the pictures of it coming together was amazing.
And then you see it lit up at night time as well, and it's just completely different again. It's like amazing.
On this, I really like how it's using the robots as well. You don't see many MOCs with, or I don't see many MOCs with the robots. They are robots, right?
Yeah, I think are they?
Yeah, I
think the Lego movie. Are they heads from there?
Oh, are they? Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, that other figure uses the hairpiece from Izzy from Dreams.
Okay.
Cool.
That fig, I really want this fig. I think it was Madlib sent a picture into London Calling. With the Tranquil Gardens with this figure.
Yeah.
And she's really cool. Is that another Ninjago one, TJ?
No, that was a CMF one.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful printed on it.
It is, isn't it?
I do like how smooth this is as well. There's almost no studs on it. So any studs that you do see kind of feel purposeful and adds detail. Rather than, it's a Lego stud.
Yeah, there's no other. There's hardly any.
Yeah.
If any.
But it's good that you can still recognize that it is Lego as well, because sometimes when they hide all the studs, you can't always tell then sometimes.
Okay. I quite like that when you can't tell that it's Lego.
Like a dragon.
Yeah. I think this is
when
quite
you can
common.
tell, but it's not obvious that it's like from a distance you couldn't tell, but once you kind of get closer, it's like that's Lego. But that's yeah.
I think that if I remember rightly, that's kind of just something that Teal Squadron it does. Like there's quite a lot of not many studs shown, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Here we go. Gordon coming with the knowledge. Series 4. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just check back in with the chat. I know KO was telling me it took me ages to do something, probably to say hello to Carrie. But finished packing all my Lego in boxes, and now I need to relax. Of course, because KO is going to Bricktastic as well.
I picked up some bubble wrap today, so
yeah.
Just need to box now.
Is it tomorrow? People are starting to go up.
Yeah, although you can't get in until Friday.
Right.
So
Okay.
put the carpets down.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
the fabled
to be-
carpet.
it used to be a train station at one point. So.
Oh wow. Cool. So that is the last of the mock review. And we do have a technique to look at as well. Just say hello quickly to Greg. Oh, there, Greg. Good to have you in here. Let me figure out how to use my computer again so I can find the other pictures. And yeah, today's technique, there's a bunch of pictures, so we'll zip through it a little. I say we'll zip through it, we'll see how we go. But it's off the back of Rangal, I can't remember his actual name, that we showed last stream. He also showed how he does some of his wall techniques, basically, in adding insane levels of detail. Yeah, like even you can see here, like the amount of techniques that are going on in this little bit is mad. Yeah. It's like the amount going on. Like it's not even a straight wall, is it? Like it's at a bit of a wonk. Yeah. Just seeing Greg's comment. Yeah, so he's given a bunch of techniques. So yeah, these are like even this, like just seeing like how each wall is broken down into little pieces and then connected. Presumably not just simply put on top of each other. I'm sure there's some ridiculous way that he puts them together, because why not? So yeah, here we've got windows. I really like this technique. I've seen it other people doing it as well, using this turntable piece.
It's really quite a useful piece, actually, isn't it? When you pop the spinning off,
yeah,
a really decorative part.
Yeah, it really is. Even if it was just like in light bluish grey and on like the front of a building, you could use this without even being a window, just as like decoration.
Did they
on a window?
I think they did that. I think on the Ghostbusters Firehouse. I'm sure.
Did they? Are you gonna do a flex here and just pull out the Ghostbuster Firehouse?
Well, it is just here.
Is it?
I
did not know this about you, Gaz.
I have to move my light. Hang on. The Ecto 1 will probably go flying. Oh, this isn't going to be the easiest thing. But yeah, I've got on the roof. Oh gosh, of course it's on the roof.
Are we going to see? You don't have to.
I know. I'll tell you what I'll do, because I just remembered it comes off.
Yeah.
There you go. The roof comes off. I just remembered. There you go. But yeah, on here, you can see there. My fingers aren't even pointing in the right place. But yeah, look there.
yeah. Oh, they're like the fans from the air conditioning unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I forgot the roof came off. That's safe moving it. Gosh, the beast.
Yeah, so yeah, a versatile piece.
Excuse me.
Because I think he's just got like there we go, the trans 1x2 plates, and I think he also has a technique where he uses. Oh, here we go. It's not the same turntable piece, but again, windows. This is what we were looking at, because we were saying how we got loads of these blue bars off of the pad wall, which I had no idea what I was going to do with them, but now I know. Because I'm going to do this. Again, though, the level of effort that's gone into it is pretty high, because it's not just putting the bars in here. You have to put a stud in, and then he's got 2 layers of studs here, and it looks awesome. Like, it fills them out really nice. And even here, you can see it's like got sideways building going on with building and like different pieces. Got caught around in there, and all sorts of tiles, plates.
They did a bit of that actually in the Viking village, where you've got to get like a wood
Yeah.
effect, they had plates stacked that way. So you had reddish brown, dark brown, reddish brown, dark brown, like that, just at the front of the middle building. So it just looks like planks.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I do like that technique. You see that quite more and more, I guess, in MOCs.
Yeah.
And here we go. Now we actually get to see like
It's
the
just
amount
like-
of work that goes on
Very-
behind us. So you see this here, yeah. So he's got bricks and plates going in basically all directions,
Yeah.
and then and that's, I think he shows it, but I think that's like a Technic plate. So it's got a hole in the middle, and with a bar
Yeah.
coming through, and then studs and plates and all of that, and brackets everywhere to handle complex half plate spacing. I don't even know really what he means there. Those are just words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's like half plate spacing is like where the actual snot part is. Yeah, because that's
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of the length of half a plate, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And brackets have got that extra bit as well, haven't they? Like the snot bricks as well.
Yeah.
So it might be-
Yeah.
I'm trying to find one here. It's almost like this bit here, this thickness here, because that's where it gets like confusing. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. So you've got this little indentation here, right, in the headlight brick. That I think is this. Oh no, it's not the same thickness as the top of a. Like you get all these random like third thick pieces that are amazing for doing offset stuff, but can also be a nightmare if you're just trying to make a whole brick. Well, I say a nightmare. It's hardly that much trouble, but yeah, you don't really expect all of this to be going on. Just do like the amount of the number of hours that must go into it. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it says about the Technic plate with various bits sticking through it. I love it.
I remember seeing this for the first time. Like, how did he do that? And I'm like, oh my goodness, when I saw this.
Yeah. Because I've seen it when people have made walls like this, and they've kind of basically made a frame and then just fill it with pieces like, I don't know, cheese slopes and stuff, just stuffed in, and it looks all like broken. But this is all at least relatively stable, if not completely stable, and within its own little bit. And, here we go. This is that technique of making wood by sideways.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want some of these dark brown leaf tree limbs, small tree limbs, and wands
Those
for
are
the
good.
bars.
Yeah.
It's
a good technique, that. I like that. Excuse me.
Half plate spacing with leaves. When it says half plate spacing, what does?
Because he's used. It's because it's not fully spacing it. Because you've got the bar at the back, you can bring the gap, move. Oh my gosh, they can be closer together than, or any distance apart. I suppose you can just slide it along the bar.
I see. Right.
I got there in the end.
Yeah, those leaf part, the bottom part of the leaf part, as long as it's not the main stud portion, kind of juts out a little, which I guess is half a plate, allowing for that little gap in between.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Fair play. How do you come up with that? The chain link is held by pressure.
Chain link.
Oh yeah, I see it.
There. Okay. That's like.
And it's just held in with the parts on either side. Yeah.
So he must have. So he's got a plate here. These plates here are kind of holding the whole thing together, aren't they? Because they're connecting these at the back, which is then holding this in. Which then, what's he doing with that chain link? Or is it just to get that curve? Is it? Oh wow!
Yeah.
No, it's just sat there. I don't know.
It's just in there. Yeah.
It's just for that extra level of detail.
Yeah.
Mad. Absolutely mad. Cool. That is the last of that technique. Well, I say technique as loads of techniques, which I don't know if I'll ever comprehend. But yeah, I did just see out there Sam Smith has joined us. Hello.
Yeah.
I hope you're going well. And I believe you're mostly finished with your mock. It was fantastic. Or well, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hope you're all as terrifyingly stressed as I am. And hello out there to Matt as well. Good to have you in. Cool. So we can come to some of your more recent builds, TJ. Put the focus back on you, and we've it'd be good to have a look at what you did for Brickworld Chicago last year, and a sneak peek at what you've been doing for this year. And if we've got time to also have a look at some of your Star Wars stuff, might be we'll see, because we are coming up on already 9:30. It is already flying by. So let's have a look at the Temple of Fortitude. Put a picture up, and then if you could kind of just talk us through like what gave you the idea. I think you already kind of said actually about how you started it out, like what the starting point was, why you wanted to do this particular build, why Chicago, like why were you tempted to do Chicago? Was that just an aspiration? Let me make this full screen.
Excuse me.
Yes, there it is. There's I had one picture of it with minifigs, so I sent that in as well, actually. But yeah, this is the Temple of Fortitude. It's based on a Ninjago temple from season 3, which is rebooted. Came out back in 2014. Lego did do an official set version, but those are downsized and they don't quite capture all the details that the shelf is. And this is one of my favorite temples because rebooted is one of my favorite seasons, and this one also just didn't get a lot of screen time, so I love it naturally. And what did kick it into gear is that little gateway archway thing in the front. I just kind of started playing with pieces and assembled that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like how you've done that, because I can't remember what the name of them. It's the gate. Help me out with someone. The Japanese gates that.
Where's Carrie when you need her? She'll know.
And then once I did that, I started laying out the path and everything, laying out where all the stuff was, and including all the water and everything, because I wanted to have this Ninjago modular compatible, and it is with the pathways. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. With the so these pathways here link up to particular sets, or will they fit onto any of
them? On the right, I had it designed in mind to link up to Ninjago City Gardens.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. So did you start out with just lay out all of the foundations of it, I guess?
Yeah, I started out with the base plates, laid out the foundations. I think on my Instagram I have highlights of some of the construction of my MOC. Sometimes I forget to record things, but so I had that base plate laid out for a while, and then I slowly started building everything up as I got more gray brick, which was what limited me for a little bit. Built in, gave it a bit more foliage in the show. It's it's a temple, not really the main focus, so the walls are just plain. So there's nothing on there. So I wanted to add a bit more. I put a tree on one side, kind of a reference to the set version.
Is that a root coming out of the wall as well?
Yeah, I really like that.
Built in the tree, built in a smaller tree to the other side, and then added some foliage.
Cool.
That's really cool.
in there. Yeah, and then there's paths on either side on the edges, and in other pictures you'll see why that is, why those paths exist at all. And then there's the main stairway up to the main temple, and big windows, and those stickers on either side. Those actually go over multiple pieces.
Okay,
They're from the original set version of this temple.
Okay,
and I put them over multiple pieces. Back in 2014.
Oh wow.
Okay, so was this when Lego were putting stickers over multiple pieces?
Because no, I did that on my own.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But it's okay because I knew this temple was never coming apart after this.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Are those windows on the side?
Yeah. Another thing I'm particularly proud of is kind of above the doors, capturing that shape, because I did the best I could, and I think I did a pretty good job of kind of capturing the shape of that little archway detail in front of the doors. Yeah.
This bit here, do you mean? Sorry, on top where?
Yeah, just and then like the middle part as well. Yeah, because if you look, I don't have any references to the official show version, but it had a particular look about it, and I wanted to try and capture that as well as I could. You know, I think there's only so much that you can get right with Lego because it's Lego. So I did the best I could. You'll see like a plate worth of space in between the windows. I tried and captured that shape on the very top windows. Yeah. And then I used those newer golden fence pieces. They were new at the time.
Okay.
Newish.
Did you end up getting loads of the is it the Spring Lantern VIP packs?
No.
Well,
I do have a few of those, but I pulled these mostly from dismantled Ninjago sets that I tapped together. I think at the end of the day I only had to order one more.
Oh, okay.
So I was short one. Yeah.
I really like the way the roof's done as well, with the just because it's green, it just really stands out. Every time it's just in the shot, and it's just like you've got like the bits, like the low pieces that just down there as well, like that.
There's a lot more of those on the temple and the show, but those were also expensive. So I ordered as many as I could to get the general shape. And then tiled off everything. That was also expensive. Dark green tiles are expensive for anyone.
Dark green tiles are dark green pieces in general for the most part are expensive. I've had to buy like 1x4s to try and build up basically.
I also found out by building this MOC that you, in terms of 1x plates for dark green, you can't go above 1x6. There are 1x8s and 1x10s, but they were only in one set, and it was a train. That's very expensive.
Right, okay, yeah.
So as soon as I discovered that, I had to make sure I worked around that and planned my MOC.
Yeah, there are limitations with dark green, aren't there? Hopefully they'll bring out a modular with lots of dark green and then like they did with olive green, so they can.
Is it the 1x3s that's quite hard to get hold of in dark green as well? Is it 1x3 or 2x2?
I think I've got plenty of 1x3s in dark. I might have gotten them off the pad wall at one point. No, it wasn't the Emerald Night Train family bricks. It was Santa Fe, something along those lines, in like the early 2000s.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But then, if you look kind of like at that little, like right next to the dragon head, you can see a couple more of those loaf pieces at the very bottom. So that's all like right next to it. Right next to the dragon. Yeah, like right there. Yeah. It's very hard to tell from this angle.
I see.
Yeah, there's the temple again. There's
the brown bits here?
Yeah, they're brown versions of the dark green pieces. Pieces, yeah, because the wood part kind of goes into the roof in that part, but I knew it was going to be a bit too difficult to actually put them through the roof to build them around the space, so I defaulted to the loaf pieces, worked them in there instead.
Nice.
Yeah. And then use some snot bricks to kind of make everything go upside down. That part at the top is very delicate.
Yeah, okay, I can imagine. So have you got that?
Yeah.
Are these held on with clips? Are they? So are these like 1 by something bars?
Those are held on by some clips and some battle droid arms.
Battle droid
Yeah.
arms. Yeah, like they
so-
are kind of like an unsung hero, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using that.
Yeah, no,
much, but,
when I was showing this off to duck bricks, and that part actually fell apart, and I couldn't get it reassembled. It was so
yeah,
funny.
there's lots of
But yeah.
like clips, bars and clips. There we go.
There's a lot going on there in that bit, isn't there?
Yeah, I love that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. It's almost like a samurai helmet. I'm probably butchering what it's meant to actually be, I guess. But yeah, that's what it made me think of.
Yeah, going off the look of the temple, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Did you have this lit up? I can't remember if you.
So
say that you did?
I didn't have it planned to lit up, but thank you to Amberlaya out in chat. I had this she had this little light brick thing, not like a Lego brick, but just like this brick that was light, and I was able to put it in on the top. It just barely fit in. You'll see it in a future picture of kind of where it fit in, where it could fit in, and that was able to light up the MOC.
Oh, okay.
Impromptu lighting.
I just had to ask about. Well, actually, there's a few things in this very area. So Mark was asking, are these window pieces built sideways?
Those are windows on their sides. Yeah.
That's really cool. So, and then what held in? So are these like sections
Yeah.
here, and you kind of.
Yeah, they're just held in by snot bricks.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I really like that. That's really nice and simple but effective. Like those pieces are so cool. Those scythe pieces.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen them. I don't know what they're actually meant to be.
Yeah.
What are these?
Ninjago blade piece. Yeah, those are little dragon statues, golden dragon statues.
They're really cool. I couldn't figure out at first if it was like that party hat that you get.
I think I pulled those from the original set. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that doesn't seem right. I can't imagine that. That's not going to be the
party at the temple, everyone.
Yeah.
And then you do.
Yeah. Top view, entranceway. Here's the back. The back wasn't as visible at the convention, but I still got one of those windows in there. And then I took some more creative liberties on the back, kind of made it a bit more worn down, figured, this side's above the water, not easily maintained, not at the front of the temple at the entrance, so might as well make it look a bit more worn down. I actually used the big burps from the set in this. And that's what those gray parts are.
These bits here?
Yeah. So those are
okay. Yeah. Oh, well, okay, cool. Oh, well, and they're set back a bit, hence, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love having, like, gaps in buildings where they've broken down a bit.
I love doing rock work. It's so much fun to just kind of experiment.
I'm with you on that.
Play around with getting different angles and things.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Another little
just
gap in there.
Making it look a bit worn down. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. And because when you displayed, I guess it was kind of seen from 3 sides more than
yeah. I mean, it was visible from all. It was designed to be visible from all. Yeah, let me hop on a jet. Get
here in time for Fantastic. Designed to be visible from all sides, but then I guess in reality, the back's kind of facing towards you. I guess people can
the back
see it as they were coming around, but then
like it. I didn't want. It was going to be more plain, just because there wasn't a whole lot of detail on that side of the temple anyway. But I didn't want it to be completely devoid of detail. I wanted it to at least have like some things going on back there, like the water, and you can see there's like a bit of the depth in the water as well.
Different colored
green, dark green, and black, because that's kind of the system that the Ninjago modulars use. Green is the shallowest depth, black is the deepest, dark green's kind of the middle.
Okay. So, nice. And I guess something as well that I learned from the one time that I've displayed is that it is worth designing it to be seen from all angles, because even if when people are coming to look at it specifically, they might not see the back. But if they're looking at the display behind you and they look up,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
one of my builds looked horrendous from behind, and it was only when I got there I was like, oh yeah, if anybody looks up, they'll be like, what the hell is that over there? So yeah, people do see it from the back, even if they're not necessarily seeing it when they're looking directly at your thing. I guess depending on your table layout, if people can like walk around. I just feel like I should reassure you guys. some nervous noises coming from your way.
One of the back end of one of mine is ugly. Really ugly.
At the same time, it's not right?
Here's the interior. Now, a bit of the lore behind this temple. This was originally the Overlord's temple. So it's where he would hide out and protect himself from the first Pinjitsu master. And
who's the Overlord? Sorry, is that a baddie?
He's one of the main. He's one of the big Ninjago bad guys. They're from the creation of Ninjago, like basically an evil version of a guy. Okay. He's got very powerful and all that. But I put a stone warrior on the right and a crystal warrior on the left to suggest that he was kind of experimenting with them.
Okay.
Try them out.
What's this piece? Is that a
it's a newer crystal piece from Ninjago. It's another Ninjago weapon piece because once again we get them all.
yeah. I need to. Like a samurai. I need to get more Ninjago.
I really like.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of rock work. Yeah, the stairs on the one side designed to be more worn as you go down.
Nexo shield.
Well. Yeah, and then there's black in there, and that's just meant to like kind of represent a void.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And a little bit of water leaking in from the outside.
Yeah, because it's got the you can just see the edge of it there. You've got the
I think I might have removed that in another shot, but yeah.
So this is because you'd have the right. So these are the trees. So the stairs would the stairs come up to here?
Yeah, but the front two base plates connect from the back two, so.
They're
not there right now, but that's where the stairs would come up to.
And then and then this is the shot from the other side.
Here's the other side. So that red thing is a Ninjago movie video game collectible. Some of the parts don't exist in the proper colors, but I replicated it to the best of my ability and put it in there as an Easter egg.
That's cool. Yeah. Did you get a lot of people who like know a lot of Ninjago fans? Like, did they pick up on this kind of stuff?
Yeah, when I showed them the interior, I pointed them out, and they'd say that was cool. I think when I showed Duck Bricks, he thought it was really cool to see that. And then there's a snake head over in
just at the top
over there. That's from the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. I kind of put that in there.
I need to get some of these. These are so cool.
Yeah. Great for detail.
Okay, Harry Potter Easter egg.
Yeah, and then there's just a bed for sleeping in. I just kind of stuck that in there. Yeah.
That was really cool. So, and actually, when you were displaying it, like, how often would you take it apart? Would you kind of have it whole for large chunks of time, and then you take it apart for a few hours and then rebuild it, or would it be on?
Usually, when someone came over and looked pretty interested, I'd take it apart and show them, especially if they were like, talking about Ninjago, like, oh, this is the Temple of Fortitude. This is from Ninjago. It's really cool. Okay. I'd go in, I'd show them everything, and yeah.
Nice, because I think you said on another stream, like, you didn't necessarily have on a sign saying what it was, right? You didn't say it was the Temple
I put Temple of Fortitude, but people didn't necessarily know that was from Ninjago. So.
Right, okay,
I think the Temple of Airjitsu would be more recognizable, but I'm going to add Ninjago to the title just so that there's no confusion.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then here's a side view, and that's to show that those open. So there's these little these rock panels on the side that rotate, and that's a feature that I took from the official set version because I wanted to include a few references to that. So I built in this little rotating rock structure on both sides, and that's why those paths exist down to the
cool.
Yeah, and then they've got little weapons attached to them as well.
Here? So how does this spin round like 360, or does it like?
Yeah, it spins 360. I just turned it sideways to.
Yeah. And how does it do it? What pieces? What's
Oh, it's just a couple turntable pieces.
is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What, just one on
Yeah.
top and one on the bottom?
Yeah.
Or just one on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you could even just have one on the bottom, right? And then
I did two, one on the bottom and one on the top.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Play features. You're giving me ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Okay,
this.
and then-
yeah. This.
Yeah, here's the first floor. You can kind of see in the middle on top of those brown pieces. That's where I set the light brick.
Where's that? Sorry. Sorry. As in, you like just like.
Yeah, like
this
in the
bit.
middle, like
Right.
directly in the middle on those two brown beams.
These
And
bits here.
the light brick just barely fit in there.
Okay.
And that's where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, so
cool.
there were the main support structure beams. There's a bunch of empty pedestals and then one with the stone armor, because the ninja would take the stone armor, they put it on to give them their stone armor suits, which help protect them against the Golden Master's golden power. And then I included like a few other Overlord references in here. I included the little computer from Battle for Ninjago City from the actual set. And then a couple other little details, and the pedestal in the middle, which I don't have it in this build, but that's where Cyrus Borg set down a little case that had a shrinking pill in it.
Okay.
Which he was trying to make a diet pill that actually works. And instead
There's all sorts of stuff, wasn't it?
Yep.
I really like. Yeah, I really like
And
this. How it.
this is how it detaches. This is
Was this
how you
to
can get
make it?
access.
What was the to get access into here? Was that to show it, or was it so you could actually access it to add stuff in?
It was to show it and to get access to actually put minifigs in it as well, because it was kind of hard to snake by hand in between the beams.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This just made it easier to do so. Yeah.
Getting into the territory of having to use tweezers to place.
Yeah.
Figures.
Yeah, it was easier to just make the walls removable.
So
Here's the second.
do all the floors actually connect, or they just sit on each other? Because I know when
I think they just sit on each other. I don't think there was anything more than gravity involved.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Because they were such big floors and so heavy, they didn't really need much else beyond gravity. And it's not like I was going to go swinging this thing along.
Did you have anything holding it in place at all? As in, like some bricks?
I did have some.
So, like slots in, or
yeah, I had some bricks on the undersides of things, kind of to help it slot in and everything, but no actual studs connecting.
Yeah, because I've seen that before. It's quite it's not like a common technique, but it's really cool. It's like it's effective, right? And it works, and you don't have to faff about lining it up with like those odd few studs, which you do get with the modular buildings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then here's the second floor, and most of it's some the middle part is more beams that just kind of go into the ceiling, and then the rest of it's outside. So
right,
it's just all off. A lot of reddish brown tiles, and then there is there's a ladder from the first floor that goes up out into the temple for access.
Is that this bit here? So
yeah, over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
so
the
you
ladder's
thought of
attached
like
to
how
the-
people can get up onto each floor and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, another like one of the story. I don't want it to just like, poof, you're up there. To actually make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're ninja. They could probably ninja parkour their way up there. But I also
Yeah. And then the roof sits on top of that.
Yeah. And so the brown part in the middle, that's actually offset by half a stud. I don't know if I have a better picture of it, but that whole thing is offset by half a stud. Yeah, I don't think I do.
No, okay. So as in offset, which way? What, like backwards or to the side?
No, like out. Yeah.
Right. I see. Cool.
Yeah. I can probably get the roof's
Okay. Because it's really interesting to see from the top. So this is kind of like what was done with this bit here. Let's make you full screen.
Yeah. There's There's a lot. I'm just gonna take this off now because it's done.
Cool.
So you can see here, this will kind of show it a bit better. Is how the roof is offset. So you have the snot pieces in the middle, and then everything else is offset by half a step. This is really dusty. But yeah, you're gonna see dust on this. I need to dust it.
That's so cool. I do love that color. That dark green and reddish brown look amazing together as well. But dark green, it's got that like that sheen.
I suppose I don't need to show both sides, but the one side it's just held in by clips.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool. Okay.
Inside is a Technic structure similar to the official set. I remember I was really struggling with this, with finding the right roof angle. So then, after a bit of struggling, I was like, why don't I just look at the actual set and see what they did? And they used a couple of these like 2x4 Technic pieces with kind of like a Technic hole on the end. I don't know if I don't know if I have one accessible, and I don't really want to rip this apart to show it off, but but I just used those, kind of linked it in with Technic, and it worked.
Nice. Yeah, Technic. Need to get into Technic. It makes a lot of stuff.
I mean, I'm not like a huge Technic builder, but I can, like, I don't do like complex mechanisms and things, but I can use it a little bit for getting certain angles and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's another thing, right? You can get some quite interesting angles by connecting stuff. That's what I've been learning from the Indiana Jones set.
And then getting this this dragon head.
Yes. Yeah. It'd be good to see the.
Just it's just a couple of those ratcheted hinges. There's a, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you can also see how this part sits on the top. Yeah, so it plugs in studs in the middle and those two jumpers as well.
Oh, that's
and then let's see.
Yeah.
So the roof. Sorry, the roof just sits on. Let me just go back to here. The roof is sitting on top of like these bits, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry. Let me make you.
Yeah. So I pretty much just stuck those bricks on there to kind of stand it up.
Okay, cool.
Together. And then you could even see the brown pieces where the columns line up.
Right.
On the front.
So do they sit on top of the columns? So it's almost like the red bricks in the middle. That's what's holding it in place, right?
Yeah, the red bricks kind of squat inside the main red part of the build, and then everything else is just gravity. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and then just more interior shots. There's the ladder.
Yeah, there's the ladder.
Different angles to give you guys a better look at.
So these are the stairs.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. I think that's the last one actually. So yeah. Okay. Cool. So they come in. You can come in through the basement, up through there, and then up the ladder.
Into the
okay. Oh, that's amazing.
And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, my other MOC is in the same folder as well. The little Ninjago diorama.
Split it out.
Yeah.
The Ninjago diorama. Sorry, this one here. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's in the same folder. Yeah.
Yeah. This was. So was this from Brickworld as well?
Yeah, this was also at Brickworld. This is something I literally put together in a day. This was a day. I mean, I did like a tiny bit of work the day before, but this was just something I messed around with and built in a day. Yeah. I do love this battle. So this is Kai, Master of Fire, versus Ash, the Master of Smoke, during the Tournament of Elements. And they fought each other for the Jade Blade and advancement in the tournament. And they fought over this. They fought over this volcano. And the rope bridge was a lot longer in the show, but
but
diorama. Yeah, I'm not building an entire volcano just to build it.
I like that it's got like the bits coming off as
Yeah.
well, and because it
Yeah.
detaches as well, right? Like it.
Yeah, I used like rope pieces, so I actually have it here.
Let's
So,
get you
yeah,
on full
probably
screen.
also very dusty. But as you can see, it moves around.
Oh, yeah,
So it's got that
Right, that's cool.
flexibility. And then it's either 1x4 or 2x4 plates, and you can kind of see the connections. It's clips here, but yeah, either it's
Right, okay.
yeah.
So it's the
I think I used
don't know what
I
they
think I
call, like
used
the
a
ropes
bunch
with
of
the bars and.
I used a bunch of 1x2 round plates, maybe at least somewhere. But yeah, so the bridge is flexible, and then it can collapse just by separating the middle part.
Oh,
Because eventually,
that's cool.
Kai shoots a blast of fire that snaps the bridge in half, and their fight goes down onto the rocks below.
Okay, nice. That's really cool. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah,
one as well. That's really cool. And
Yeah,
there was
no, I really like that.
yeah. This is actually my second version of this MOC. I built another one back in 2018. I think the video is still somewhere on my YouTube channel. And if be prepared, you'll be very bored because I speak very monotone and go to sleep. But this was a much better version of what I did back then. Yeah.
I really like how you've got like just a few little bits to like give the lava some texture and detail.
Yeah,
and,
make the lava seem like it's bubbling and all that. And
Very
then I did the I did the black border, but in Star Wars has their version of the diorama border where they've got grilled pieces in it and then like the little plate on the front. For me, instead, I decided to include the round tile that was actually from Kai. It was used during this era for Ninjago.
I think I have this. Is it Kai's fire dragon? Has he got a dragon? This was just like from a couple of years ago.
There's been a few different Kai fire symbols.
Oh, okay.
This was one of them. There's been a couple others. But yeah, so I just used that one from that era. I think I stole it off an Airjitsu flyer. And still need to put it back. Yeah, and that actually slots in to the build. There's like on one side there's a tile on a snot piece, and then on the other side it's one of those little I don't know what's the piece called. I don't know what the piece is called, but it's one of those like where you can put glass pieces into it and slide them across.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That bridge in it.
Like a rail, isn't it?
Yeah,
like a rail piece. Where did I just redid my sorting. Where my doors are. It's one of these.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that just kind of sticks it in there because the blade actually got stuck in the rock.
Okay.
In the shell. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like King Arthur's sword.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was another one that was a lot of fun to just kind of build up and make and add to the display. And yeah, there's some big Technic beams that run through both of those pillars.
Oh, okay.
Kind of make it stable.
Yeah. Okay. There's some cool rock work as well. Again.
Yeah, and then I had a bunch of pieces to convert the bridge because the bridge can go from completely undamaged to very damaged. So these parts would all help me. So it looks like I used some jumpers there. Yeah, and then in order to connect the bits that were snapped off, I still had those clip pieces on, but then I used 1x1 round studs with holes in them. Well, not this, but on the when I had to do the 1x2s, I did.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So the idea was like as Brickworld Chicago progressed, I would make this bridge more and more ruined. I'd revisit the MOC every so often and switch a couple parts out.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I really like. Did you get many people kind of like coming back round, and then would they see the progression of it? Because 'Cause I
I
guess
think so. I think I probably got a few people. Yeah, I wasn't at my table the whole time, if I'm honest.
yeah, right, okay,
But,
yeah, I think that's a lot
I
more
was at a
common.
Ninjago concert for a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's video footage of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that brings us to the end of your Brickworld photos from last year. Yeah, that is amazing. That temple, especially, that's so cool. When I first saw it, I think it must have been on a Good Morning Brickworld or something. You just kind of had it sat in your background, kind of like you did a bit closer. Like, what was that? that's not a proper Lego set, or not an official Lego set.
It's just
I do plan to rework the base eventually of the temple because one, I don't like that the basement is kind of stuck in there. It makes transport a bit more difficult. And two, I think the next time I display it, I wanted to have a more accurate base to the show, which means a lot less water and a lot more green. So
Right.
eventually I'm going to modify the base, but the temple is going to stay built. So
okay.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you're just gonna? Do you reckon you'll display it again at a show, or because did you say
Probably in a-
Brickworld? You said before.
probably in a few years, maybe when after it's been a while, I want to build Temple of Jitsu, of course, and then there's some other Ninjago buildings and vehicles that I'm looking into building. But I think once it's been a little while, I'd probably display that again because
Nice.
Brickworld Chicago is like it's got a lot of space demand, and I think
Yeah,
they'd rather new MOCs be displayed rather than old ones.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
when it's got some significant modifications to the base, then I'll consider
That's
displaying it
enough.
again. But
Okay.
yeah, or maybe if I've got a bunch of them and want to display them as a layout, that might be fun too.
Yeah. And would because it's just, Brickworld the only convention that you would display at? Do you think you'd go to any others? Was there logistical? Are there reasons
I would
why you
have to
wouldn't?
see. Whichever show I end up going to next, I'd probably just go without displaying anything first, just to like see how the show is, get a sense of like the drive and whatnot, and how difficult transport would be. Yeah, having Brookworld Chicago in my backyard does make mock transport really easy.
Yeah,
Pretty much guarantees that I can display.
Yeah, because I think you're saying it was what, like either a 10 or 15-minute drive, depending on what route you take.
Yeah, so like when I had this and was transporting it, you know, I could drive a little slower because I was just taking back roads and just and it took me like 15 minutes to get there, and
that's amazing.
Yeah, really, really quick and easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember one day I forgot my badge at home. It was like the only thing that I forgot, and I had to like drive back.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's a good thing it isn't a very long drive.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah, that'd be you have to go all the way back for a badge as well.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing I would do.
That's one of the disadvantages is that you can forget things, and it's not just walk back up to the hotel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Let's see what Carrie's just put in. Transporting MOCs often seems an afterthought. Our coral reef just went loose in the boot, and so happy our Elves MOC is in boxes. Yeah. Okay. I think I get the impression that transport is not necessarily thought of first time round, and then you go through it and you're like, okay, I need to take this in.
I was very lucky that everything kind of fit in one storage bin when I transported my stuff, and then like I saw which things were going to be delicate and fall apart, and I just put them in Ziploc bags.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you're going to fall apart in this contained space rather than all across.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because there'd always be that one part. Then you'd be like, can't find it.
Yeah, that gateway that I started with, it was super delicate, still is, and yeah, I just pulled that straight off. And I was like, you're just gonna go in here, I'll deal with you.
Just take a bunch of photos of it so you know how to put it back together, right? And
yeah. I think that one was pretty easy to get back together, but then like the top portion of the roof, that's really delicate was a bit more problematic.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with Matt's sentiment on the one time that I've just played. Getting to the show was the worst part. And then afterwards, it's like, I do not care. To the point where one of my mocks did actually. Well, I survived the trip home, but then got destroyed being taken out of the car accidentally. And then it was at that point, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just going to take this one apart. It's had its run.
I just got a feeling I'm going to leave mine in the car after that. Just do it the day after, because we're not going to get back till quite late, I envisage. So
Yeah.
I'm not unloading the car at midnight or gone midnight. It's not happening.
No.
Yeah, I think I just let my MOC sit for a day once I was done. I mean, I packed them up really nicely because I wanted to keep the temple intact, but yeah, I needed to rest. I also got home at like 3 a.m. on the last night, so
yeah. I think I got back at like 7 or something, so it was like, cool. That's absolutely fine to take out.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
No. And then, so that leads us nicely into Brickworld 2024 and what you're doing for that. And we've got a couple there. We've got a couple of pictures. Did you want to have a look at the pictures, or did you want to show it in person? Did you have a preference?
You can show the pictures, and then if I need to, I can grab it in person. It's still a little unstable because I haven't secured all of the floors yet.
Okay.
Right, let me again share. There we go.
Yeah, so here it is. Here's the start of the Temple of Erujitsu. Temple from Season 5 in Ninjago. Also a set, but the set version was not nearly as big as what this is.
I'm trying to think if I've seen the set version. I wonder if
it was 2015 red temple, black roofs that kind of jut out. And on the side, one's blue and one's green.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
Bridge in the middle.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. So why the Temple of Erujitsu? Do you have why and how did you start approaching it?
It's another temple that I always wanted to build. It's a really cool temple in Ninjago. Originally, I wanted to build it to where it was floating in the sky because it did do that for a little while.
Oh, you have heard about this? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, Ninjago.
But when I started building it at this scale, I quickly realized that was not a viable thing. I wasn't going to work, at least not yet. So I'm going to build the main temple. I'll put it on the ground. It'll be okay. The thing I am doing with this is that I'm designing the temple portion and then eventually the side buildings to be removable.
Okay.
And then after Brickworld Chicago, probably after a little bit, I'm going to take apart the base but leave the buildings intact. That way, I think the base enough, as long as I take a few pictures, the base is easy enough to replicate in the future if I ever need to build the base again, the original base. Yeah, it's the buildings that matter and the buildings that need to stay together. So it also makes storage easier because it's on 9 32 by 32 base plates, and Temple of Fortitude was on. The Temple of Fortitude was on 4 32 by 32 base plates.
Right, so step up. So how many?
So this is I actually just recently expanded a little bit. I added what is that? 4 by 16 space on 2 of the sides because I felt there wasn't enough space in there. So
so this kind of juts out more.
The part with the 2 windows comes out a little bit more. Yeah.
Right. This bit here.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's and the base then, basically.
Yeah. And then these are all so far locked in with just gravity as well. They just kind of sit on the edges. And Yeah, they're it's
So
slowly
is it that this
progress.
is holding it in place? Is it? So you've got like
Yeah,
these
it's kind
little.
of sitting there on
Okay.
a tile, and it's on the 6 corners where the 6 columns are,
Oh, and
is
even
where
here
the
you've
floor
got it.
sits.
So
Yeah.
you've got. Is it just being like held
Well,
at
there's also
corners
some temporary
basically?
supports there's temporary supports in the middle.
Okay,
Okay.
I was going to say
Otherwise,
just
yeah,
got it
because
free
otherwise it would completely
floating.
fall apart.
Yeah.
And eventually, once I work on the interior walls,
Mhm.
that'll be the support. But right now, all I have is the temporary supports which are just some yellow bricks that I pulled from my collection.
So would you use a same technique, similar technique as you did in the Fortitude, as well, with the the big sort of braces and like the big columns for the support?
Yeah, yeah, I might. Yeah, I mean, definitely in the front because there's you can kind of see it poking through that hole. There's a big staircase, and then the second floor on that front side is open. So
Right.
there's definitely going to be some supports in there. And I looked at the temple, and those supports do exist
Okay.
inside the temple, so it works out just fine.
Hmm.
But yeah, keeping that supported because that second floor is a little delicate as is.
Fair. Did you have you got taken any learnings from the last temple into this one, from the Temple of Fortitude?
Yeah, the first thing I took from it is don't build the bottom floor into the base plate because that made it a pain.
Okay.
And if I did that, it would be impossible to fit in a storage bin because it would go across 4 32 by 32 base plates instead of 2.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you had
yeah.
enough trouble with 2. So yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of the first learning I've took from it. You'll also see a lot of like yellow bricks in the walls. That's just where the windows are gonna go. I just haven't ordered them yet. Those are kind of like one of the last things I'm gonna do, only because that's something I know I need to do.
Yeah.
Whereas all the other things I don't know what I need to do yet. So
Right.
I'm using my budget towards the things that I don't know about yet, rather than the
Yeah.
windows that I do know about.
Okay.
Will they go? Will they be like a sideways build again, so you can slot them in, or will it be that you have to just kind of take it apart and?
I'll just have to take the bricks off. They're stacked the normal way,
Yeah.
rather than the
Yeah.
temple. I looked at the temple and it made more sense for this one to stack in the normal way rather than sideways.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. And then, so you've got the yellow. Oh, right. So there's yellow plates here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then,
those are just locking everything in.
Okay. Cool. Right.
Yeah. Because
Just like-
eventually I'm going to put tiles down and everything, and probably some supports underneath as well once I've figured out where the walls go.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
but for now,
Yeah.
I'm just locking them in like that because right now what's important is the exterior of the temple and getting that built. Because with those windows, it's not that easy to see inside. So if I'm hoping, I don't think it will come to this, but if I can't get to the interior, then I'll leave it bare. But I don't want to do that.
Right.
I
Okay.
really
No,
don't.
okay.
So
Yeah, because it's had sort of white windows, didn't it?
yeah,
one
and I'm carrying those over into this mock as well. I do like to do that with the I did it with the Temple of Fortitude. I'm doing it with the Temple of Air Jitsu, incorporating some elements from the official set. In fact, so there where the staircase is on the inside, I'm going to be putting these parts from the original Temple of Air Jitsu. But I haven't put them in yet because these are brown and I don't want them to break. So I've got the black ones in their place.
Handle them with
that
kid gloves.
I can, so that I can play around with everything. And then once everything is secure and in place and finalized, then I can put the actual ones in, and hopefully they don't break on me then.
That's cool.
They won't break. We'll be positive. Come on.
No, yeah. You can be careful with old brown stuff, right? Even probably not even like having it by pushing it down all the way onto the plate, or maybe having like it mostly tiled underneath and having just connected by a few studs, so that you're not having to like get your brick separator underneath it, and that's when
I mean, once this is finalized and once those things are put down, this MOC is never coming apart. So at least not not any time in the near future. So
right, fair enough. So yeah, that's a commitment then. And talking about commitments, if you don't mind talking about it, Matt's asked, what sort of budget do you have, and like, what kind of budget do you work to? Is it?
Well, I'm just trying to. Honestly, I'm just trying to spend as little as possible at the moment. I'm also saving for potential micro Ninjago modular GWPs. So I'm just trying to only spend what I have to.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
the moment. Yeah. But like I needed 1x2 bricks. So I got a whole lot. This was it started out as 500. It's not 500 anymore because I used a whole bunch. Yeah, but I've got plenty now.
Is red a relatively inexpensive piece to get for the most part?
It's not too expensive. It did help that the 1x8s and 1x4 bricks that I also used were on pab walls. I had a friend, PBJ Lego, who found them and sent them my way. Thank you very much, PBJ. And then the 1x2s I bought on Bricklink because those didn't seem to be on pab walls anywhere. But sourcing them from pab walls is great. And I also, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. I to start building the base, which is the next portion, start getting the base outlined. I got a bunch of gray brick.
Yeah, these are the 1x3.
Yeah, 1x3s and 1x10s. Let me get a few of them out here. So below the 1x3s is a bunch of 1x10s. I think 3 layers of 1x10s.
Oh.
I was able to get 67 1x10s and 195 1x3s in this box. And I'm not sure it'll be enough. Yeah, I'm going to find out, and if it's not enough, then I'm going to be heading back to the Lego store probably on March 1st when I buy one set, and I'll be getting more. Hopefully they have more.
Yeah.
Is red kind of is red one of those colors? Because I know dark red they don't always match. The shades can be a little bit off. Is it the same with normal red as well?
I haven't noticed it as much with these. I think because most of these are from the pad wall anyway, so there's not much of a color difference. But when I was building the Temple of Fortitude, I did notice the occasional color difference. I think depending on the age. Yeah. Some of the bricks that were, from the 80s and 90s, those were a slightly off color, but it's not too bad. I don't think it's as noticeable as with dark red or some of those other colors like that.
Yeah, okay. I wonder if it's because it's like Matt said, it's one of the the most basic.
Yeah, it's one of the colors, so it's not too hard to get a hold of. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I wonder as well. Then, is that one that just has fewer variations in color generally? Because is it like the more special colors because there's a whole thing about different factories making the bricks, right, and they work within certain standards, so they're not exactly the same, right? There's different levels of quality, but I wonder if the core colors are more likely to be closer to each other because they're so staple and they've been around for so long that maybe it's a bit different.
Yeah, I think so. It's possible some of the other ones are just age on the first.
Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, but so how long do you think it will take you to finish it? Are you giving yourself the full time until, is it July?
Yeah, June.
Yeah,
mid-June.
Sorry.
Yeah,
mid-June.
So I'm hoping to have it done before. I'm giving myself the full time. Ideally, I wanted to have all the parts purchased before June. I have everything set there. I think with the Temple of Fortitude, I finished it with about a month, maybe 2 months to spare.
Okay.
Which was very good. I don't think that's going to happen with this one, due to not having all the parts I need.
Yeah, okay. And this is bigger, right?
Yeah,
it comes with bigger. Not just the size, but the whole thought around it and making everything work is just different logistics, right?
Yeah. Once I've built the base, I'm going to go back to trying to tackle the roof elements and seeing how those work out. Hopefully I can get them to work. I should be able to at some point. It's just figuring out how I want to build them and all that. I was actually looking, and it's important to check parts. I was looking at using these 2x2 roof elements. I would need a bunch of them.
Well,
And
the curve, the newer ones, is that
Yeah.
is that the bit that comes from that
No, it's
botanical garden?
gosh, where I don't know if I have any nearby. Let's see. Yeah. So like it's like this element, but half that.
Right. Oh, sorry, let me full screen.
Yeah. This
Right.
element,
Yeah.
yeah, but half the size. This is what they used in the Temple of Verjitsu. But then I looked, and the 2x2 version of that is very expensive. And I did the math, and to get all the ones that I needed, it would cost me like $300. So that's a no.
Okay.
Yeah, those kinds of pieces, that and the one that's like slightly higher, like maybe a plate higher, but a similar kind of shape. They seem to be surprisingly rare and
Yeah,
expensive.
the issue with the 2x2 is that it hasn't been produced in a while in black, so it makes it more expensive.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I'm still experimenting with like roof styles because the roof is kind of hard to get with the way that it's shaped. It's got a bit of a curve to it and everything. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's not an easy roof to replicate. So I'm gonna be playing around with it a bit more.
Yeah.
See what
Is
I
that
can do.
where like I guess clips and bars coming into play?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bit of that going in. I've experimented with a few things, and I kind of got frustrated, so I just moved off into building the walls instead. But I'm gonna go back in
I don't know how many.
and look at it again.
I don't know how many pieces it would be, but could you use like that 2x so that 1x2 curved plate? You know, like one we saw in those mechs. If you just had them all, they'd be going sideways in effect. But if you had that, because you can curve those really easily. Oh, I got some because we've got some here. Yeah, hang on, I've got some here. So if you got them these ones, so if you had like that, you could get quite a good sort of curve like that, and you could just do like quite a few. I don't know if they're
or
quite
even
expensive. I don't know.
Even potentially doing it with like 1x2 bricks and combination of 1x2 bricks and 1x1 round bricks, and you can do a similar thing and just build it out and curve it might be cheaper.
Yeah. The issue with the Temple of Verjitsu is that it, in addition to being curved, it also does like this with the roof. So it does like this kind of thing as well. So I have to figure out how much of it I'm able to replicate.
Yeah, okay.
But those pieces are a good idea, though.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces at the minute. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, I do love that, and for like walls, curvy walls as well.
Yeah, the next step is to kind of start building the base, getting a basic structure lined up, and then maybe look at the roof again, and then also looking at building the side buildings as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be?
I am also thinking about an alternate water style. Instead of using the tiles, I'm thinking about using the bricks, because those bricks were on the pad wall.
And going like sideways with them, because Craig,
yeah,
Big Stage Pass has done that for his castle build. So
yeah,
he shows how to do it.
I've still got some water tiles, so I can just do the water normally, because there's like a little water area where the bridge goes over in the front. But just to play around and see what I can do.
Yeah, and also because with water, as I can attest, it's really part intensive when you're doing it, especially if it's even when it's just like flat with the 1x2 tiles. You use loads of them, and I think they must have had them on the pad wall because I've got loads of them from somewhere. So they must have had them at some point.
Left, so
but yeah, using those 1x2 bricks is a good shout because you'll get more for your money that way, basically, won't you?
Yeah, and I've got about half a pad cup full of them. So
okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
I
think
had a bunch of them, but they've
Yeah.
all gone now. So,
it's going to be some experimenting. Yeah.
yeah, I think there's definitely
Yeah.
something we said
And
about getting water right.
where did they?
That's the fun though sometimes.
Here it is.
Yeah,
I was also working on the stairs leading up to the temple the other day. Came up with this. You can see
Ooh.
pretty
oh,
easily
that's
how that's
cool.
built. Yeah.
Are they like the 1 by? Is that? Oh wait, I was going to ask if it was 1x2, or 2x2
These
plates with
jumpers.
the
Can I say the jumpers?
yeah,
okay,
with the double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just kind of all linked in there together.
Oh,
And
and
now
you've
I
got
need to order
the
more
rail
jumpers.
piece as well.
just to fill in the
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like those.
So
Yeah.
does that like rail piece kind of offset it? So on the
It
second
helps to,
one up.
It helps to fill in the gap
Yeah. Okay.
as much as I can.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And then for work, there's like a gray path around the temple. So I was able to get a bunch of these. These are going to be a pain to separate.
Yeah.
There's
Thankfully,
75
oh, actually,
here.
no, yeah, they're 4x4 plates.
Yeah. 75 plus another one that's just randomly in the cup or in the box. So that's 76. So it's going to be a pain to separate, but it's worth it because I need these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll probably be quite a de-stressing though, doing that. By the end of it, you'll be like, found my zen now.
Yeah, the only thing I have to worry about is the separation between base plates. It's just as long as that separation is good, as long as there's a point where I can separate the paths, then all is well.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that progresses and how it ends up, because it's clearly going to be a beast and it looks like like a step up from what you've done last year. So yeah, looking forward to seeing,
especially when it's all done with and see how you've done the roofs and
depending on when I finish, we'll see if any other MOCs make it to Chicago. I think it's just going to be this one, but we'll see. I might do a couple habitat builds because I've got a couple other people who want to put their habitats at my table, and I've got a little bit of space. I reserved like double the space that I need because Amberly is also going to display, and she's going to have it at my table, but then I'll still have more space beyond that. So, yeah.
Oh, yes, I did see Amberly say about if I managed to get my MOC done in time for Chicago. On the way back, I'll just dump it into my luggage. Yeah, that's fair. One and done. I think. Shall we wrap it up there? We've gone with 10:30. We've gone for 2.5 hours. That has gone by quick. Thank you so much for coming on, TJ. It's been great to get an insight into your building and see what you're doing.
It's good to see how things are sort of, as we said as well, how things evolved as well over time from that tank to the new temple as well. So really cool.
And to see how you've kind of got things that have carried through, like the play features. How you had the door like in the tank. You had all of the bits coming off and moving, and then you see that in the Temple of Fortitude with the doors. And have you got plans for? I guess the last question about your current build. Have you got plans for kind of like those kinds of play features, or
so everything's
everything's
going to make sense. The doors will open and everything, and stairs up to newer floors and all that, upper floors. And then I'm also planning on adding lights. Going to start experimenting with that as well. Bought some to try out, see how they work, and then if it works out, I'm going to get more. And the plan is to kind of have the lights be independent on each floor. I bought like a battery box, see how long that lasts. And if that works out, then I'll have like a battery box for each floor plus a couple more underneath the MOC for the side buildings and anything else. So that way I can still remove floors without having to worry about ripping all the lights apart. Those floors are big, and I'm worried that if I'm trying to rip apart lights at the same time, I'm going to drop something.
Yeah, that is fair.
You can get those ones for like modulars with, so they're like these bricks that they've designed, and they've got like I don't know how to explain it, but basically if you put one on like on the bottom half, you'd have one then on the top half, and where they connect, then that would just complete the connection. So then the lights would be powered. So there's no wires you need to pull apart. It's literally you take the floor apart like you would normally with a modular, and it's only then when the connection's broken then it just doesn't work. But probably doesn't sound. I'm not explaining it particularly well.
Yeah,
sure
I mean, this is my first time with lights, so it's a process.
Yeah,
first time for everything.
Yeah.
Yes, KO, I'm going to enable everyone in Brick World Chicago. Just you wait.
And is there, and do you always have a favorite element as well that you like using when you're building?
Yes, I do. It's the masonry brick.
Yes, good old masonry
one
brick.
Of the back. Here's the sand green ones, which I mentioned briefly earlier.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love this element for texture and for detail. I think overusing it doesn't always look as good, but like using it in the right places at the right amount is really nice, which is why I have a lot of colors. So I have all these colors, light bluish gray and dark tan in here. And then I have some of my less common colors, so like dark red, sand green, dark green, white. One of the nougat colors in here. So yeah, I've got a lot of these, and I like to look at Bricklink stores to see if they have masonry bricks, which is dangerous because then I could end up spending a lot more money. But I do like the brick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do like the profile brick and having them in. I think I've mentioned it before about how that's just one that I seem to collect. I think a few people collect them as well. I was like, gotta catch them all.
It's a nice part to have.
It is, and like you say, it's good to to use it fairly sparingly. Right, it's good to have it mixed with other.
Yeah, it's good to like show like wear and tear in walls and maybe like little damage or rubble somewhere in like a ruined building. Yeah, I know that when I build up the Temple of Erjitsu base, kind of around the edges, I'll probably scatter a few masonry bricks in there to just kind of show that the wall's wearing down a little bit, but not that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
You like that?
Cool. Is there anything that you wanted to plug, or are you up to much over the coming week?
Tonight or so at 8 p.m. Central should be Lub, Lego's Ultimate Builds, over on Bricksmith's YouTube channel. That's just a bunch of guys hanging out and building Lego and talking and stuff. And then this Saturday, I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central is the time we decided. Amberlaya and I will be talking March releases.
Okay.
So it's that time already.
There's a lot of stuff coming out too. So look forward to that. And then I have my usual Twitch stream on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central. And this week I'm actually going to do MOCing on stream for the first time.
Yeah.
Hey,
nice. I just finished up the E-Wing, and
cool.
That's pretty much my last set that I have in my backlog. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I build too fast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been making my way through my backlog. With the room move, it's made me realise I've got some of these sets that I either need to build or get rid of because I don't really want them just sat around. So
yeah.
But cool. Okay, so busy. Busy.
That's good.
Yeah. And yourself, Gaz, how? Well, I think we know what's coming up this weekend.
What's coming up this weekend? So I'll be doing some bits. I've done the majority of the majority of the building's done anyway. It's only if I want to change stuff because I can't leave stuff alone. But otherwise, it's done. It's just now getting into boxes, just getting some signage, and I've just got to do last minute touching up of paint on a couple of things. But yeah, otherwise that's it really, and then it's all there for Saturday. That'd be fun.
Nice. And then you can relax, and then you can be ill. Then your body can can let you actually be ill.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And then not much for me. No, I'll be fantastic in spirit or virtually through London Calling on the Friday, which is earlier, right? 6 to 8.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah, and you're going as well. You'll take this.
Oh yes, yeah. Thank you. And then otherwise, I've really got to get started on my Reading Brick Show build because that's just over 2 months now. So I don't want to leave that last minute. I want to try to build something and build in kind of like what you've done, TJ, with like opening doors, or like I kind of want to be able to open up the side of it and stuff and build in lights. And I've not really worked with lights before, so and I wanted to try and make it good. I'm gonna get started in earnest. That's all tomorrow, probably. Yeah. So I'll be putting updates somewhere.
Cool.
Instagram, probably.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe look out for those as well. Watch your progress. So,
yeah, hopefully not too horrendously.
Be fine.
Oh, cool. Thank you again, TJ, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Oh, wait, no, we've got a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me end the poll. And where's it gone? Oh, it just disappeared. Can you see a poll?
I can see it. Did you find the thought of starting a mock intimidating? 51% said yes, 48% said no, with 31 votes.
Brexit all over. Okay, fairly even split.
Controversial. I love the fact that it doesn't add up to 100 again.
No, it doesn't, does it? It gives that 1% leeway.
Yeah, it doesn't round, I guess.
No.
The YouTube tax, maybe. I don't know.
The 1% give up, like it says. So even split. Cool. That's good to know. All right, everyone. Well, thank you again. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time talking with Planet Tech in the aftermath of Fantastic. Very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. I wonder if it's radio silence on Progress now and there'll be a reveal. Hopefully there'll be a reveal. He has threatened to not be in Manchester at all if things don't go the way he wants. So we'll see. We'll tell. We'll see if his GPS says if he's in Manchester or not.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all good. I'm sure that nothing will be. Yeah, I've lost my words. That started out really well in my head, and it just went.
Cool.
Brilliant. Cool.
Okay.
And hit the like button if you haven't as well. Just
it's somewhere down there is the like button.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Sure to subscribe as well.
Yeah, because Carrie does that.
Thumb was. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see everyone in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
See you later.
Thank you. Cheers then.
Bye.
Bye everyone.